You couldn't drink?
I couldn't drink.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Cortex group. Mox, Talbot. Do you want a straw?
Yes.
How can you not drink? I've just drank. Look,
Because it's going to catch.
Look.
It's not going to catch.
look. No matter, unless I'm like, oh, that's just silly. But
Unless you bring it exactly above your mic. Well, don't do it like that.
come here, love. Come on, let's fix it.
Hey, everyone,
for
if
you.
I push myself in my eye. Oh, that hurts. Why am I doing that? Stop it then. Oh.
Is that better? Hi, everybody. Welcome to the new time. We are live at 9:30 GMT. Latest
Well,
show yet.
when
We're
we
trying it new.
When we say live, we're merely sort of self-medicating on caffeine drinks
Yeah.
to maintain the pep.
That's it. Which we're not going to show you which ones we're drinking yet because we're still in discussions.
So if you're the maker of an energy drink and you wish to have discussions, feel free.
Yes.
Discuss away.
Yeah.
And we're over, nothing in particular. I mean, obviously, I know that we like a certain particular. You know, is the doctor in the house?
Yeah.
To put it in a hint. I mean, we are not going to say a name, but ultimately, what we're looking at is it starts with Doc and ends in Ter. And it's made by Mon.
It is.
Yeah, ends in Stir. So, but of course, we also do Red Dead Online.
Would you ready?
Who was supported by Rockstar. War.
Could be another level of cross-pollination there. Anyways, feel free to reach out and say, promote this drink. Anything to keep us awake on a Friday night.
Well, you can tell that we're tired because apparently the stream is now live, streaming no game, Red Dead Redemption Online.
Right.
So the guy that was supposed to fix that is getting a slap.
Right.
Straight after the show. And there's nothing that can be done about it now, as far as I can tell anyway. Hi, Holt. Yes, Talbot needs a tippy cup.
Tommy Tippy.
Tommy Tippy. I'm not even going to give him a blue one.
Have you got one?
Have I got a Tommy Tippy? No. If I do,
that
then
would-
I'd probably be under investigation.
I was going to say, there's probably a good idea that he doesn't have a top. Why have you got a Tommy Tippy cup? Well, it's when I wear my adult diapers and do my cosplay as a, functioning baby adult.
That's how I roll.
Well, you would literally roll.
Right, well, last week,
This is going to be harsh.
you're going to wake up any second now.
If I suddenly just get lift off and
I don't know if anybody remembers the original 80s, you were probably 5, I don't know, Transformers, but it was a character called Blur, and I think we're just about to see
if that actually works.
Ulmakor acting like Blur.
Talking at the speed of light, everyone will have to slow everything down.
Yeah, jeez. He's barely born.
Shut up. No one,
Barely born.
no one likes you.
Can you be barely born?
Well, apparently so.
Depends when
That entire decade, that was the slowest birth ever.
That must have been harsh for your mother.
when in the
Yeah, just get out, man. Will you? Go on.
God knows, 84? I just came up with that.
I've been 2.
You don't remember it?
It apparently might have been 2, if I'm anywhere near the time.
Oh, right.
did.
Okay. You mean you never went to see Star Wars the first time it came out live in 1977? What's wrong with you?
No.
No.
Yes.
No.
My name is Conor McLeod of the Clan McLeod, and I am immortal. Yes, I remember that.
Oh, crap, that makes me Duncan.
What makes you Duncan?
I saw an interview with Conor McLeod, the actor.
Christophe Lambert.
Yeah, and the guy with the ponytail that played the TV version, Duncan.
Oh God, yeah.
And they
That's
actually
awful.
sat there comparing notes and talking about actually each other's characters and the ins and outs, as if it was real, as if they did nothing else and that was their life.
That's sad.
And making, and then there was this scene and we did this, and Christopher Lambert, who has that weird accent that nobody can identify, is simply going, well, I refuse swordplay, I refuse to learn, whereas Duncan was saying, the character actor, well, I learned quite a lot, I went for a lot of lessons, and he did actually nearly cut my eye out, which you can still see the faint scar during the scene, because he literally, Christopher Lambert, when you see him going, that's just the take that took.
Right, rather than
Most of the time he's just like, windmilling. He runs in there with his ginormous blade, just, even though they're fake, they're cutting each other.
I do think it was particularly epic, the fact that they've got Christophe Lambert with the worst accent of a so-called Scotsman, who's French, doing the worst Scottish accent, folled by Sean Connery, who only knows one accent, playing an Egyptian Spaniard. That sounds remarkably like he's from Edinburgh. It's like, hey, you've really picked up that Egyptian Spanish twang there. Whereas the Scotsman, I don't know what happened to him.
But of course, let's not forget the Kurgan, who at no point did he sound Russian or from the steppes of Russia or wherever.
Or mainly just from New York.
Yeah.
Mainly it was just Clancy Brown being, oh, well, yeah. Well, look, if the Scotsman can sound like he's some sort of effete Frenchman, well, why not? Why can't the Kurgan be someone who sounds like he's from New York?
You know what? I honestly had this this rosy glow memory of Highlander.
Never watched it again.
Great.
Never
and
watched
I
it.
went and watched it
Yeah,
literally about a month ago.
Never watched
and
it
I
again.
forgot the backflipping scene in the garage. What? A guy in a beige suit and an overcoat backflipping down the entire car park
Because that's
slowly.
like, because yeah. Or let's forget not forget the end scene where you can actually see the wires holding him up. They didn't even digitize them out. It's like we can see the wires that's holding you up while you're having this big momentum. I don't know what was supposed to be like, sort of like I am the one orgasm.
Yes.
And it's like he's in wires. You can see the wires, guys. You can see the wires. I mean, you really can. You don't have to stare. You just go. He's on wires.
The pyrotechnics or whatever was actually outlining them
Yeah,
perfectly. Yeah,
Highly.
that was terrible.
It was. And let's not go over to the absolute like horror that was Highlander 2, where we had a fairly good plot, we had a fairly good backstory, and that seemed interesting in one. Ha! They're all from space? What?
Yep.
What?
They were all the aliens, and it was actually they all knew, but they then forgot during their prison term when they were sent to Earth.
And let's send down Ironside, or whatever he's called, the guy who just comes with his own machine gun all the time. Michael Ironside.
With his leather gloves and his two Uzis.
And everything. He's just like,
there can be only 64. He doesn't cut off your head, he just shoots it full of ammo. 9 millimeters, so there's nothing left.
We're going to have to rewrite it. Why? Because Michael's turned up and he always brings leather gloves and a machine gun. Oh, how do we fit this in a period piece set in, like, Pride and Prejudice? I don't know, it's a different slant on Pride and Prejudice.
But it got better. It didn't.
It didn't. I was going to say it got worse.
Christopher Lambert's character, Connor, then goes on to invent a planet shield.
Oh, that's right, he burns out the sun.
No, the sun burns out the Earth, or is about to, so he puts on a planet shield,
That's right, yeah.
and it blocks out the sun, and then he retires, because he's getting old now. And then suddenly he goes young again, because for whatever reason, the alien race sends 2 guys to kill him. As soon as they appear, of course, there can only be one.
Yes.
He suddenly goes to the age that he was when he was beheaded. He's like, yes, this is awesome. Then Sean Connery shows up again.
We needed some money. It's
And I
basically
can't actually remember how or why.
Why?
They then and he shows up just to have a bit of fun, and he gets shot a bit, and then he dies again. But it went on. So people know of 1 and 2. Some know of 3. Nobody knows of 4 and 5.
I didn't follow it. I was just a...
There was princesses and dragons and ice warriors.
Really?
Yeah.
God, that was awful. I bet it blended seamlessly into the whole we're aliens.
Well, the thing is, I'm known for my descriptive prose, and I did the best I could there.
Right. Yeah, so anyway...
Just to stop the fan so he can escape.
Highlander.
There you go. That's exactly what he's... You either you've just watched it, which I'm worried about, or did you Google it? Wait 5 minutes for the stream to catch up.
That's harsh, whatever that is.
Just noticed the table's off to one side.
No, no, so as well.
Well, why didn't you mention it?
We're going to just fix it right now.
Yeah, just you pick up one side of the table. I'll pick up the other side.
Let's ask for trouble.
It's asking for Dumbledore. I'm not asking for Dumbledore. That's not this sort of party.
Yeah.
Anyway, how we doing?
What
Am
the?
I good?
What? I should have played long.
It's a bit late.
No, no.
Now you just look silly.
Yeah.
Wait for the 7-second to loop.
It would have been great if the books had fell off the shelf.
You could just sort of interact with us rather than interacting through the TV.
He's actually laughing at what you said 3 or 4 seconds after you've said it, even though you're in the room with him.
I'm not talking to you. I'm watching on TV.
It's so much better.
What are you doing?
Got the stream up?
You what?
What?
Got the stream up?
I know.
But we're here. You don't have to.
Hello?
Watch, you don't have to.
You're in it.
You don't have to watch it on the camera.
Since when? Okay.
You're supposed to put it back on later when you can.
I know, but I was. We
You're
weren't
curious.
in.
It's like
we
it's
weren't
it's like it's live. It's like
in
you're
yet,
almost
so I
there.
thought we were having a chat. So.
We were, but then you started chatting to yourself 5 seconds after the event. It's just weird, all right?
Look at that. Oh, he's so sexy. Wow. Wow.
That guy at the front, he's so engaged.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway,
Right,
So,
yes.
so we've had. We didn't do any Battlefield 5 this week. We did some Red Dead Redemption,
And it was fantastic.
You managed to play it again. You for the first time yesterday.
It was so much better than Battlefield Earth. Yeah.
Yeah, you're showing yourself to be Conor McLeod again. Ranting and raving about Battlefield Earth all the way through an entire mission.
Yeah.
That was a good mission. That was your first experience of going through a ravine, cowboying it.
Yeah, no, I quite enjoyed that. I thought it was. I actually preferred it to Battlefield 5, just because it's not as hectic and doesn't, and maybe it's also because everyone else hasn't spent like a million hours on it. So I'm sort of almost parallel.
Yeah.
The disparity between you lot playing the Battlefield 5 for so long and me going, I've never seen this before. Maybe that just made it a bit more similar to my skill, my expertise level. But I enjoyed it. I think it's
the horse thing was nice. The way it moves, you're climbing on and off. The sounds of leather. It's a very immersive game. Yeah. I do want to get to the bottom of how you've got such a small horse.
I don't know how I picked up some sort of steps pony. It's like it just. I mean, I didn't like go. Look at
the smallest one.
Would you like a pony?
Robert Downey Jr. played Sherlock Holmes, and he did 2 movies. In the second movie, it turns out that he doesn't like horses. They've got vicious ends up. They're vicious at both ends and strange in the middle or something like that. Anyway, the gypsies and Dr. Watson are all riding these big ass horses, and he's on this, this little step pony. It's like, and every time they stop another horse, are freaking out, and he just goes past them.
That's what I
that's the impression I was getting, because we'd be galloping ahead, stop and turn, and he'd be like,
he's got stamina though. He's got real stamina. But no, it's good. It's a good game. I think once they sort out this whole random players turn up just to spoil your experience and shoot people and not take part in the game. If you want to do that player versus player thing, if there's a medium or an area that can do it, that's fine. But hopefully they'll sort that out, because it is a bit frustrating when you try to do the actual plot and people are just there to spoil the plot, and that's their fun, is spoiling your fun. But I mean, other than that, no, I really like that. I thought it was good fun. I think it's a really good one to get involved in, and the graphics are fantastic. The gameplay is really good. On
a dated machine as well. The Xbox is 5-6 years old, so they really pushed out the boundaries. They haven't added any extra downloadable content that see what a lot of games start to do when a console gets to the end of its life is they produce another disc or a downloadable bit where they've got some extra features where they push the boundaries of the graphics just to try and make it look prettier. They didn't have to do that because they're still capable of programming within its remit. What's going on now? Don't get us wrong, it doesn't stand up to PC. But unless you're playing both, you're not going to notice that. So yeah, no, it's there's no noticeable difference if you are dedicating yourself to that one version. And as far as we're concerned, stream-wise, all we've really got to do now is whoever rules the posse, whoever's in charge.
I don't have enough dollars.
Gonna get them dollars.
No, I refuse to rob bodies. That's not my character.
Dollars is what I need.
Yeah.
It's all right.
Yeah,
I've just been paid.
I understand that your milkshake brings all the boys to the yard as well.
Does it?
But regardless of that,
Damn right.
all we need to do is either posse up as a group and ride, and hopefully that they'll avoid us because we're just too big a group. And they can tell that we're together. Maybe they can't. But when you see like a big group of 7 people riding towards you, generally you don't go,
yeah.
We're going to be able to hopefully do that. But the other situation is to find a place that we can all meet up, and then we'll just go. We choose the missions that we're going to do.
I think
just pop in there, mission. There is a story mission that we should be or can be doing, but there's a lot of sideline stuff there, and they're going to be bringing content in, so we'll ride with the rest of them.
Yep. Yeah. And hopefully everyone's going to enjoy it, because it's good fun.
So you can't play story mode?
There's an online story mode.
Yeah. So
you just got to we've got to be a big enough group that we're going to shy out. They get them to there's always going to be stupid people that don't realise, right? And we've got that sort of line where if you retaliate, you're going to go into those servers where people shoot each other. And if you don't retaliate, then you go into servers where people don't shoot each other. Just don't retaliate. However, of course, if there's 7 of you in a posse and somebody turns up on the street and horseback and blows away one of your mates, when default reaction is to all turn around and go, who got him? No idea. So we've got to decide what to do as far as that's concerned. But we've got to go to I want to say Blackpool, but I don't think it is.
Go to Blackpool. Wow, that's going to be an epic weekend.
Blackwater?
Right. So we'll go to Blackwater. That's where the guy that runs the online story is.
Right.
So we're going to go to him. But there's a lot of other stories out there. So, come Tuesday, we'll see what changes are.
I'm running with a different idea. Cortex goes to Blackpool. That could be an entirely different stream.
It will,
Yeah.
It'll involve.
We'll need some fine money.
Yeah.
Everyone needs we need to nominate a good lawyer, and we need money for bail.
Alt, will you be the lawyer?
No.
No.
Can you hold on to the bail? No, that's probably not a good idea. Yeah, but that could be good. Cortex goes to Blackpool.
You up for it?
Go to Blackpool?
Yeah.
You ever been to Blackpool? Yeah, you'd know if you'd been to Blackpool.
I think so.
Just smudge yourself in disinfectant before we get there.
Oh yeah, I've been in Blackpool.
Go to the Tower Ballroom.
When we're going on the roller coaster.
I don't remember ever going to a roller coaster in Blackpool. I remember vomiting a lot.
I had a roller coaster of an emotional time when you're there.
I was going to say, I remember being beastly drunk.
No,
It was horrible
the big,
as
what's
well.
it called? The big one.
The big one, eh?
Can't remember.
Enjoying yourself there, were we?
This was the 80s, though. It's what happened. It was like
No.
27 pints to the fight.
Bone, man.
There was very few places I can remember going, drinking so much that I was actually, where you got that sort of, you don't, blood there, everything's just sort of swirling around and you're absolutely aware that you're mortal and also lost and feeling entirely threatened.
That's Blackpool. It's a wonderful place. Everyone should go. Pint in the fight. Great.
Yeah.
So I went there as a child when I went on the roller coaster.
Probably didn't do as much fighting and drinking.
I didn't do what you did.
I was only a child. What are you talking about?
But I think we might have a repressed memory there, mate, because you just remember going on the big one.
Yeah. What was he called?
Whips. Right. Anyway, and dogs.
Dogs. And it went dark. Went really dark. Well, that is the Blackpool I know.
I thought I was, yeah.
That's actually quite possible in Blackpool.
I didn't say the dogs.
You didn't see them?
I didn't
We-
say,
but you could hear them.
I didn't say dogs.
Dags.
I didn't say dogs.
It's Blackpool effect
I'll
straight away.
say.
I didn't say dogs.
I'm sure was it Blackpool or was it Morecambe Beach where they found cholera out in the water? And they did some testing. It's a wonderful place. Everyone should just go out and wade in there, but watch out for the cholera.
Is that like a lodge fish?
It's called their sewer systems just pump straight out in the bay. Don't drink the water.
Don't drink the water, even when it's bottled. Right.
Sorry, denizens of Blackpool, if anyone's watching. It's a wonderful place. I just haven't been there since the 80s.
Anybody watching will actually just see that he really looked at you sternly and started talking to you.
Yeah.
Because the mid-cameras aren't on when we're just chatting.
Oh, they're not?
It's just that one.
Oh, right. I'm staring at that.
You're like, I'm looking like, going, he's really aggressively staring at Talbot.
I'll go to Blackpool. I don't want to. You'll go. You'll enjoy it.
And come back with diseases.
Oh, you may not come back at all.
I'm still waiting for Amsterdam.
Amsterdam. Oh, Amsterdam.
Yeah. Fly to Schiphol. Get lost. Horrible airport. If you've ever been to Schiphol, it's just like the worst airport. Well, it's not the worst, but it's not my favourite airport.
We've got like a twin city there or something now in Amsterdam.
You got a twin city in Amsterdam? You've got a twin city in Amsterdam?
Not me.
That's what you said.
Where we are. We have
Like the
a twin
Cortex
city.
group.
The Cortex group.
Yeah,
We've got a city.
yeah,
When did
yeah,
we buy a city?
absolutely.
I'm supposed to be part of this decision-making group. Like, Oh, by the way, Nevin, we bought a city. We did we? All right, okay. Yeah.
Hey, 2 votes to 3.
Well,
One.
I actually have to know about 2 votes to 3.
Yeah.
Woo! Is that what happened when after you came back from Amsterdam? Hey, there's 6 of us. Not really.
Let it go.
Just yeah. Anyways, yeah. Cortex does Amsterdam.
We'll just get the GoPros. I think that people will be literally absolutely hooked halfway through the ferry ride.
Yeah. When we're drinking Paul Masson, well, you're not you, but we'll be drinking Paul Masson wine. Paul Masson is very cultured. It's got flip-top lid, which is always a classy on a wine. Boop. And a wide neck like a vase. Oh, what's that for? Oh, look at this.
It's actually got a can lid.
Huh?
Yeah, it looks like a piss bottle from a hospital,
It's just terrible stuff.
but it's clear. Obviously, it's a clear bottle.
Yeah. But it's like you don't have to worry about having a corkscrew or like, you just like
It's cracked open. Got a
Paul,
ring pull.
Paul Masson, this could be good.
Way!
I'm sophisticated.
The amount of ferry journeys that I've crossed, and nearly all of them involved somebody in a fluorescent jacket, vaguely in the dark, with a hard hat on. Don't know who he is,
He always comes
but he's
back.
on every single ferry I've ever been on. Does everybody else have that experience?
No.
Don't you? I mean, you got a hard hat and a.
Have I got a hot out and a fluoro
No,
jacket?
yeah.
Yeah, only on special occasions, and that costs more than for that.
We'll call him the bear then.
There was that time when we got the high-speed ferry where they said you'd be cruising at an altitude of 3 meters. Did it? The captain speaking, I was like, all right. And they'd go on the hydrofoils, and you're like, oh, this is quite different, except we were rather hungover after deciding that the best way to sleep in a van in Germany was to make sure that we couldn't feel anything by getting paralytically drunk.
Drinking till you couldn't physically drink anymore.
Yeah, that was...
And when the first person started to lag, it was up to everybody else to make sure that everybody was there till the last one couldn't do it.
Yeah.
So the first one to start going was in trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember being out. I remember coming off with a huge amount of aftershaves. 'Cause, yeah.
I do remember, although we'll not go into too much detail, the fact that no one, when we were in Germany, no one can understand the accents because we were pretty strong at the time. And a certain member of the Cortex team who's here, we're not going to mention Kane's name, but didn't realise that he was back in England again and was talking as if the people in front in this train carriage were German and couldn't understand him when they could accept. Kane, you're back in England again. Oh, they can understand me. Oh, right. Sorry about that, dear. Should have said that, should I?
We used to be in broad Geordie. I mean, even if somebody in Germany could speak English, they couldn't understand what we were saying.
Yeah.
And there's me sitting in the middle of England on a train. Blah, 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 blah. You know we're in England.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Sorry, he didn't mean that. He probably did, but he didn't mean to say it out loud.
It was one of those things where, somebody's so like, you're this, that, and the other, and you're like, well, it's true, but no one's ever said it out loud.
Yeah, happy days. That's Germany. The wall had just come down, so, you have to forgive us.
We walked Berlin.
We did walk Berlin.
We walked it. 8 hours. The whole city.
No, we didn't walk, we got chased through some of it.
True. Yeah, it was very fast.
God, that was a surreal experience. Being chased through parts of Berlin by people we didn't know why. What's wrong with the rat?
I don't know.
Cortex rat is whimpering something. I don't know why I'm looking at that. It's not turned on. Cortex rat is whimpering.
All you have to tell us if you can hear a whimpering in the background. We just want to have a disclaimer that it's not a person.
Yeah. Shut up, you!
Yeah.
Tied up for later.
Yeah. For the hard hat and fluoro jacket.
I don't know what's wrong with them. There's probably one of the many cats.
I don't know.
Anyways,
right.
What happened last week?
What, at work? Oh, you mean just at work? Well, What happened to
I became Timmy.
You didn't become
I'm
Timmy.
going to stab you.
Again.
You haven't even bothered to practice in front of the mirror your name, have you?
Grombrindal.
Well, you could say it wrong as well.
Yeah, you could just overpronounce it.
Grombrindal.
Grombrindal.
Yeah. Isn't it like this in Lord of the Rings?
Grombrindal.
Yeah, Grombrindal.
Grombrindal.
Any way you want to say it.
Grombrindal.
I just mumbledly swore into the mic. I don't think everyone on the mic heard.
What did he say?
I'm not going to do it again.
No. What he meant to say was, oh God, that's really bad. Don't say that. Where's my episode 11?
Waiting for?
Oh, there he is.
So yes,
Grombrindal.
Grombrindal,
the dwarf.
This phenomenal speech. Remember?
Yeah.
my king, forsooth and thing.
Grombrindal, as he's never been seen in any of his incarnations. He came out as someone who was who's Grombrindal, the dwarf who was into interpretive dance, apparently.
Apparently, yeah.
Which will we always remember down history. Echoed down history, and all the other Grombrindals are going, oh, really?
Ruined. So yes,
I single-handedly fought a dragon armed only with a spoon, yet no one remembers that. They just remember the effete one.
You play with one goat.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So you spoke with the gods.
A couple of them.
Yeah, as it turns out,
Ovid was a god.
Ovid was the god of trickery, god of lies.
Ronald? Or Ronald, as we would call him.
Yeah.
Ronald, his mate.
As well as Tal. You found of a great power, or powers, growing in the north, amongst the northern tribes. They themselves are unaware, but it's too late for them. Ulrich is in the north with his followers, trying with the northern human tribes, trying to keep that power back. So you've got battle on the mortal realm, as well as in the god plane. Tal said basically that he's going to be unable to assist you as much as you would like going forward.
I had a minor revelation. I probably was aware of it on some sort of subconscious level, but then I was actually proclaimed that I actually was, in fact, a demigod, which was probably quite an ego boost, and also probably one of those brown pants moments like, really?
Yes.
And there's another one on the opposite side who maybe not liking me.
Exactly.
Could I not just be like, I don't know, a fishmonger?
Yeah. It was also a strange way of a different twist on things, which is as the power of light grows, the dark rises to meet it.
Yeah, that doesn't seem very fair.
There's always a concept that it's always the dark rises and the light, in the more
balance.
romance. And this is the case, that there's power in light. Kind Karadak is a particular issue, and his future is important to the realm of
It's an
man.
issue.
He's an issue.
Is important to the realm of man, and therefore it looks like you are now appear to be a dwarf, because you are heading into the world's edge mountains. Or the edge of the world mountains, as it's as you know them, because it is the edge of the world, where the dwarves are holed up, fighting the green skin horde, stopping them invading the lands of man. You've got to get up there because you've been told that a certain artifact, something has been
Discovered. Arrived.
has landed, has hit, made contact.
Yeah.
The Highlanders.
Don't cry. No, we're not doing that. There can be only one. Nah.
No, not anymore.
Nah.
The Light Stone, the Moose Stone, and Moon. What was it called? What did you have it down as?
Heavenstone.
The Heaven Stone. So basically, whether Tal was being specifically obtuse or if he just doesn't know, which seems to be a bit of a surprise, that would be like, are they just of a higher version of mankind? They're infallible, or are they fallible? But so basically, yeah.
We've also got. I'm just looking through my notes. We had news that one of the elder gods had been captured
By this growing power.
by these northern gods for whatever power. Yeah, for
they don't have names yet. They haven't really formed, but they are such a level of power that they are starting to form. They're growing in intelligence and sentience, and you are in direct contact with it when as part of the seventh eye, because Ingvar has been subverted by the power, though
Yes.
he yet knows not of it.
He
doesn't know.
He's not aware that he's been. Whereas obviously, Erstat was fully into it and fully committed and a signed up member, and he's still well into it. Even though he was chopped to bits and burnt, he's still around and apparently merely slightly vexed by that process.
He keeps on turning up in your dreams and cutting you in half.
Yeah, 'tis but a scratch. Oh great, we've just upset the Black Knight.
Yeah. So Erstat was the first disciple of, as he said, the first disciple of change.
Yeah. Which is a bit unfortunate.
Yeah.
Because he's obviously my direct parallel.
Correct.
So it's I'm just looking. Yeah.
And he no longer has mortal form, and what that means, or of anything, Simply put, you know that he's still kicking, he's still out there, but not physically in some way. But what that means, what the side effects are, you don't know. And he showed you Arianka, the one of the elder gods,
And how do we kill
captured
him
as
again?
imprisoned.
Yeah.
You've been told to head to the north, find the stone, and through Karadak's altered form, you will meet with you must meet with the Dwarf King, and not form an alliance with the tribes of man, but prepare him for the right time, so that he will want to form an alliance with man.
Yeah.
As in, basically, get him to think, because at the moment inside the Dwarves don't.
Rather insular.
Yeah, very insular. And the only interaction they've ever had with the Seventh Eye has been rather brutal. The kill on sight tactic.
Yeah. Which is unfortunate because I'm clearly marked as a Seventh Eye in every particular way.
Yes.
I couldn't be more obvious unless I was walking around and going
With the sign.
like that.
Well, you could.
And then everyone would go, oh, look at that. Seventh Eye.
It must have been taught by Grombrindal, who then comes around the corner.
Also known as the effete one.
Forsooth and walk.
Is he really the Grim Fighter? All the other graves just spinning. Oh, no.
So you got to head to the north, find the stone, give it to the Dwarven King. But another task was given to you, which was that you need to subvert the Seventh Eye, that you must basically belittle their power. You must turn the tribes against them.
You're going to take them away
but
from
not openly attack yet.
No. So there's some interesting stuff going on. The interesting one's going to be how Karadak has to be the dwarf, that he's not the dwarf, and go into dwarven territory and be a dwarf, even though he looks like one, but clearly he's not one.
Many struggles being Karadak.
Yes.
I thought he was doing quite well at being Karadak.
Yeah, he was actually.
Well, it's very easy because no one knows what Karadak is, and he is change. Double bluff. Oh no. Instrument of darkness.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? Change.
But to strange it oftentimes, all that sort of stuff. To win us to our harm. Yeah. Instruments of darkness tell us truth. Win us of honest trifles. To betray us in deepest consequence. Did you never do Shakespeare at school? Honestly. Back in my day when Bill Shakespeare was still alive.
Billy,
as we called him. Yeah.
animal form, Orwell.
Yeah.
We can quote him.
Slaughterhouse 5. Falcon Man in Crowd.
Yep.
Thomas Hardy. No.
Horatio.
Horatio. Is that
As in
it?
Hornblower.
Probably on the TV. Right, today, children, we're going to do some Horatio. Oh, we're going to do a bit of Shakespeare. No, blink. Oh, we've got the DVD out. That means teachers.
Really crap TV show of a guy on the Seven Seas.
Meanwhile, teacher off to the staff room for a bit of a kip. Kids just left to watch
Having
a bit
drunk
of
some red wine.
just being left to watch a bit of TV.
That
While
was the school we went to.
Oh, I'm sure Horatio's one Shakespearean character, isn't he?
Horatio's a Shakespearean character.
Isn't he?
And then you end with isn't he?
Isn't he? Like-
He is this with authority, isn't he?
Is he?
I don't know.
Or was it just something I watched on
I
TV?
remember
Was it?
doing a play with Horatio, right?
Was that just the name of the fella?
I think
No.
it was just the Admiral advert for TV.
sure
Like, it was just TV
I
car
think it was
insurance.
Hamlet. I think it was in Hamlet.
Later generations get to do Captain Obvious.
I think it was in-
That's a rock!
I think it was in Hamlet.
Horatio. It is in Hamlet. It is. Yeah. It's on the
Because he
scene.
says, I'm sure he says Horatio.
I knew him well. Yeah. See. There you
I don't
go.
know, I'm just distracted by my energy drink and spring onion.
It's an interesting
Return.
combination on breath.
I'm trying not to push it outwards, but I don't think I'm winning.
If we just suddenly look as if we were like the screen's like that's just reality being torn apart by the.
Well, it's
I
full
know
of gas.
Romeo and Juliet.
You know
Do
them?
you?
Oh, really? What from
You dug them up?
Yeah, you know,
The fictional
from
from
the gossip
DiCaprio and
from Gosforth
DiCaprio.
from Gosforth Borders? I know them well. Romeo and Juliet live around the
Romeo and Juliet and DiCaprio.
live in Kenton.
The Great Gatsby.
No,
No,
That's her dad.
don't get the plot away.
Romeo and Juliet.
West Side Story.
West Side Story.
Yeah. Juliet's standing up on the stair on the fire escape.
Well,
You
that's
know?
what it was, wasn't it?
Hmm.
Rogers and Hammerstein. You know, Hammerstein.
I haven't seen West Side Story.
Ruined that one.
You did say Ramstein.
That's what it came out as. Rogers and Ramstein. Does Romeo and Juliet? It's a bit dark.
Just be like, what the hell are you on about? We have no idea.
Yeah, we've just gone off on a.
We've taken a lot of energy drinks because it's late on a Friday and it's just like stream of
This is supposed
consciousness.
to be a role-playing game,
Well, it is role playing. We're just role playing people who've taken far too much energy drinks.
but we've gone off on some sort of sidetrack about
Rogers and Ramstein,
Yeah,
German heavy
and
metal.
Shakespeare.
Looks upset, like he's not into it.
I told you I got a phone call tonight saying,
No,
I don't want to be a dwarf.
wanted to be an
That's
elf.
not the conversation.
He actually, tell you what, right? What he specifically said is he rang us up, right? And he went, "Is there anything I can do about this?" And I went, "Hey, it's it's just you've got to go with the story. You know?
Be the
He went,
dwarf.
But only idiots want to be dwarfs."
That's a lie. This is
Only
How
weak-willed
could you-
people
Yeah.
want to be dwarfs. That's what he went on and on
People-
about insulting anyone that would want to play a dwarf when they could be a Caradoc.
Anything, but particularly
it's alright
dwarves.
because people who know me know me.
People who know you know you. That's
People who know me know.
Hey!
that's quite profound. That
I
really.
realise that that's not me. Doesn't sound like me.
I went,
People who know you that doesn't
Yeah.
sound like you.
I said, look, this guy, he's heavily built, he's ferocious, he's highly experienced. And he went, well, I suppose so. At least he's not a slayer.
No,
One-dimensional characters, I think is what he said.
Playing with dwarf.
Playing with.
Shut up! I knew you were going to be on that like that. I knew
This
it.
is why he was never invited to Time Bandits 2.
He's not coming on set ever.
Playing dwarves, not playing with dwarves.
You got that court order? Can't go over 100 feet of the little people. Oh, I love little people. Get them away. Get them away. Could have had a walk on part in Game of Thrones, but that was cancelled as soon as I found out who you were.
Apparently, he was insisting that he must help him with his pants.
You need to
Just
start,
need to correct-
you need to start again. You need to start this whole session again.
Hey, we're not the one who proclaimed that he liked playing with dwarves.
No.
No. People who know you. It's all right.
No, you know you.
Anyways, this is good.
I can't even delete this.
No, it's
Oh,
live.
it's out there forever.
Yeah, it's on the internet. It's on the interwebs.
What is on the internet will forever remain on the internet.
When you're in charge of Britain, when you're the Prime Minister, this will come back and haunt you. You'll be there. There's some really serious political argument, on the hustings, and someone will hear a voice, "Dwarf fiddler."
It's not true! Who said that?
He's got a thing about dwarfs. No, don't. People who know him. Anyways, Friday night, energy drink up. God, I've got to drive on this as well.
It's great. I think we're doing fantastic.
I think you can go.
Wake up.
I need to wake up.
I'm
Some talking nonsense.
We'll just wait till blah, blah, blah. I'm in control of what I'm saying.
This is alcohol free, isn't it? This
This is going to be a great session.
This is what's in this stuff.
Are you sure this is energy drinks?
Yeah. It's not just some sort of sample we're going to take the doctor with.
What are you doing? Who are you talking to?
I'm changing the fact that we're televising. Apparently, we're doing Red Dead Redemption.
We're
Are
not
we?
We're not doing Red Dead.
Red Dead Redemption meets Caradoc and Ulmakor. That's going to be interesting. Ooh, crossover. Fusion.
Yeah,
Rockstar, take a piece of that.
they better not.
Well, we'll get some. We'll get some.
well.
Well, I was going to say get royalties, but I don't mind. It's not that we're bribable, but
I am.
yeah, just mention how much it's going to cost. Well, let's discuss it. I can't be offended until I know how good the price is. Then I can be offended.
What's with the little house elf?
With every zero, I become less.
Maybe you
effective.
should let Dobby out.
Oh no, it'll just pee on you.
Oh yeah, what's Dobby?
Harry Potter.
I think it's because we're being so loud and it's just offending. It's got an evil look on its face. Though.
Yeah, I know.
Has it?
Yeah, wait till it looks up at you.
It's not called Dobby in its own. It's in its own dimension. This is just the intrusion of a pan-dimensional hyper being. This is just its physical presence in this dimension. It's actually known as Thangroth in its own dimension, the eater of whales. But all it can come through is a small rat dog in this dimension. And
It's got a very small head. Oh no, it's his tail.
It's got a very small head.
Oh, it's not. Oh, that's his tail.
Oh, there he is.
What are you staring at?
Somehow we're still stuck with Red Dead Redemption Online as our title.
That's
Fixed it there.
Yay!
right now. Now the hordes of people come in.
Well, those hordes just left
Oh,
as soon as they realised.
since realising there's going to be no
They
red.
wanted Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah. So it's just Holt.
Don't know what you're missing.
Holt and Doc, the moderator,
Who's moderating Holt?
and Holt's not watching. He's playing Red Dead Redemption Online.
More energy drinks. Let's just turn this.
Let's go wild. Let's get the coffee on.
Yeah, why not? May as
Let's
well.
stay up till 4 a.m. Just stream of consciousness.
Oh wait,
Crack it open.
it's
Get-
done.
Get the same day delivery from Amazon Prime.
I've run out.
Me too.
Me too.
They've run out. Tried.
You've changed.
Yeah, me too.
To me.
You've run out.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm halfway through.
Apparently, if I no, I'm not going to. Right. So, are we done? Are we ready?
Apparently, if you. Oh, okay. I know.
Are we good?
Yeah.
Dwarves. No, just one. Right. Where are we? Are you what?
I'm a.
Are you in the hall?
I'm dwarf. But you need. Okay, getting back to the game, the story. You need to get Ulmakor needs to speak with Ingvar, doesn't he?
He does. Yes. And I was already ready to do that, but I'm just trying to think at the point where we actually left
Trying
it.
to put it off.
No, the point where we left it, there was some big dum dun dun dun. I can't remember what the last dun was.
Grombrindal said to the king that, "Hello, Cortex cat."
Hello, Cortex cat.
That's what he said.
It's
Yeah.
exactly what he said.
Yeah.
And Cortex cat, also known as Battle Cat, donned plate mail and rode into battle with He-Man.
Was Shiro there?
No, that's X-rated.
Yeah, it can't be there.
Yeah, highly offensive.
They redid that Shiro.
I've just seen it,
On
literally just
Netflix?
yesterday. Yeah, She-Ra.
On
Princess of
Netflix.
the Universe or some stuff.
Really?
Is it good?
I didn't watch it.
Oh.
Was that good?
Yeah, we should ask Holt. He's into that.
He's got his own costume and everything. She-Ra.
Just seeing if he is listening still. Or if he's too busy riding a horse.
Just shouting around, I have the power around his house. I have the power. No, you don't.
I know she rides a horse, doesn't she?
No, she rides it. Oh yeah, unicornish thing.
Yeah.
It fires rainbows out of its arse.
Is it fly? Like Pegasus?
I don't know. Is it a Pixis?
Like Pegasus.
Like Pegasus. It's winged horse. Or a unicorn.
Yeah, but doesn't it have wings?
Oh, Pegasus does.
Yeah.
No, but like
Unicorns.
Shiro's
I don't know. I'm not a big follower of She-Ra.
Shiro.
Different. That would have been even
Top
different.
goal scorer for Newcastle. She-Ra.
She-Ra.
The Princess of the Universe.
What are you talking about? It's quite. He'd slap you if you heard that.
Yeah.
He's not a forgiving man.
Oh, Wikipedia, Shiro.
Holt is not listening. So he's gone evil.
Yeah.
Listening.
He's not saying my precious, is he?
I'm waiting for it.
Yeah.
Listening. So anyway, can we get away from She-Ra?
Yeah.
She-Ra.
Skeletor is better.
Skeletor.
Skeleton.
I don't think Skeletor got his reboot.
Has he got his own show?
Well, he sells insurance, doesn't he?
Yeah, that really makes me uncomfortable.
Just don't understand why that would be a good thing. Buy
money.
insurance from the most evil man in the universe. Oh, what?
Yeah.
This doesn't seem to make much sense.
He does have a fantastic Instagram account, though. Makes me laugh.
No, I've never watched that one.
Instagram? Or, yeah.
Is it Instagram?
Twitter.
Is it Twitter?
Twitter, yeah.
I do apologise. Skeletor, if you would like to join us at any
Yeah.
given time, it's an open invitation. And unlike other people that have to wait, you can join immediately. I'll make space. I'll make you up just there and then. Boop, you're in.
The God Skeletor.
Because, I know that you would be listening. Not listening. Come get on. Because Cortex Cat has taken up a huge amount of screen state.
Get off, Cortex Cat. Go. Go. Go.
He'll have you. She'll have you.
It'll have it.
Wow, she's turned around and she now has the face of the Cortex Wolf. It's superimposed on her back. Nice tats.
Excellent.
Yes, my cat is tattooed with the Cortex Wolf.
That shows commitment. Commitment to the brand. It'll be like Sons of Anarchy. Just a big, huge Cortex
Wolf.
tat on the back.
Perfect. I think everyone should do it.
You first.
Sure they're renewal. We didn't get to talk. Well, okay, I can't bring it up now.
Oh,
We didn't
yeah.
talk about it. Oh, don't do that, because all we've got now is the
Starfish.
Cortex Wolf has a starfish above its head, perfectly framed.
Don't do that, man. Cortex starfish now? That's not going to work.
Oh, yeah.
That's appealing to an entirely different demographic.
Why are you trying to pull it towards you?
I'm trying to let go.
That wasn't. No, you weren't. You could see the grip.
Really, Cat? You're going to sit there and chew,
Yeah, just leave
chew
it.
those ancient books.
Dog's just put an emote on there, like,
Yeah, it's not what
because
you want.
that fish was huge.
It's not what you want to see, really, is it? Not on your Friday night. Not until really, really late on a Friday night.
I might get some attention. Right. Are you in the Great Hall?
Yes.
So, Grombrindal. I'm really having to stop myself saying Glorfindel.
Glorfindel.
Grombrindal.
Grombrindal.
Grombrindal. Grombrindal.
Grombrindal.
Where's the E? L? There's no L in it. It's Al. Grombrindal.
You wrote it.
I know.
No.
So Grombrindal.
Could have picked a different name.
Said,
It's just
Timmy.
Timmy.
Yeah,
Not Timmy.
he's never
Timmy,
get that.
Timmy would really not be in keeping with the flow.
Timmy and his horse Terry.
Timmy and Terry, yeah.
So Grombrindal said to the king that the king of the dwarfs has extended his hand of friendship, given free tickets to
Nix.
Kazakh Angol's fairy godmother ride. That there's
Wants you to come across, trade, get closer together.
That's what you said.
Well, you said it.
You were whisperingly warned not to offer too much, since you were just making it up as you went along.
Yeah.
You were in the moment, but
I know Ulmakor stepped in.
but you're really going for it. Like, what's he
But
going?
then, I got back in line and
And he
said-
offers his first daughter in marriage.
And his armies will arrive, and
yeah.
gold will come dripping out of there. Like,
He offers every coin, every gold piece.
I think what
in
Glove-
10.
I think he got me saying it. I think Grombrindal, what he meant to say was, we'd like to open negotiations, perhaps some sort of exchange of missions, where we actually, start with the trading process rather than the grand feast and the opening of the mountain that you were, perhaps.
And then you clasped hands with the king, and that's when it ended.
That'd be weird, because his hand would look like this big stubby dwarf hand, but it would be like, ooh, it's not. It's going further up my arm than it looks like. It's lovely.
No, he's a real dwarf now. Remember? So he looked like one at first, but you were still poking him in the head when it wasn't there.
Oh, that's
Now
right.
he's
Just
fully formed.
He's a fully formed dwarf. Used to be so tall. Now you're looking at everyone.
Tick, tick, tick.
We shouldn't perhaps mock, because it's looking like it's having an effect on this Friday night.
He was like this when he got here.
I know, it's just making it worse.
So you're in the Great Hall.
Yep.
And
I need to speak to... So, the king still's there?
yep, no, that's exactly what it is. So literally, the clasp hands, the sit back. You'd already noted that preparations need to be made for the travel east, for the journey to the Brackenvelch and the meeting with the Hag Mother. You are also aware, personally, that Ingvar has already dispatched Buso, or the Talon of Vaktari, to ambush the king and queen's
to prepare
entourage and slay them.
But I also, at this stage, I need to, as I'll say to the king, I need to commune with the head of my order to just let him know what's going on and give him the good news of this pretentious evening. Generally, all the news that's been going on, and the success of the sacrifice.
Yep.
And so I will take his leave at the moment, so I can go and commune with the head of my order.
Okay.
Well, I'll bimble off towards my room.
So did I.
And we'll see what.
Lightning strike. Yep.
And go and have a chat with
Go
Ingvar.
to Erstat's chambers.
We should drink more, King. Bjorn.
No, it's my chambers. I don't think I want to go.
Yep.
Not Erstat's, no.
Your chambers.
Yeah.
You have chambers.
Okay.
I don't have chambers.
As you head off to your chambers, you hear Grombrindal cheering on the king, who's just woken up. It's just gone midnight, and they've had the whole bread and water. He's had a discussion. He's now saying, "We should drink more."
Best make this quick.
You realise that he has absolutely zero control of himself at the best of times,
And now he's been given free rein
and he's really hasn't got a clue, so he's drinking heavily.
and promising the world.
Yeah.
So we will be taken there in a chariot of winged monkeys. Probably not today. It's not good. Not a good weather forecast for the winged monkeys.
You head into your chambers.
Right. Go to my chambers. Is there a fire lit?
No.
Right.
It's not. It's laid, but
It's
it's
lit.
not
Right. I will light the fire
Okay.
and give it a chance to get some flames going.
Yeah, very quickly. Obviously, it's laid correctly. It's got its fuel, and you have a quick. Got the small bellows and the various sticks and prods.
Yeah. Just
And within short order, the fire is ablaze.
right. I'll take a cross-legged seated position near the fire, not too close. I don't want to get too toasty, and then concentrate on the flame and start calling to get the attention of Ingvar.
So you're just calling out from. You're not going to.
Astroplane it.
That's not the term, but yeah, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to project myself into his.
You're not projecting,
No,
you're
I'll just talk. I don't want to be.
Audio only.
Yeah, basically audio. I don't want to go and be in front of him. I'll just contact him and through the fire.
Okay. After a moment, you're looking into the flames. You concentrate. You send your power out across the land faster than thought, and bird of flight. You reach the druid enclave, and after a few moments, a face begins to form in the fire. You recognise an angered look. The flames look angry. It forms Ingvar's visage within the flames and smouldering wood.
Right. I'll address the flames and say, Ingvar, I have news of the night's events. Some which will be comforting, others which will not be comforting.
As do I.
The main news is that Erstad is no more.
I'm aware of this. I was there within the flame.
However, at the time when we were treacherously betrayed by Caradoc, to seize the moment and not allow the common people to see that there was division amongst our servants on our sworn protectors, I took the steps of claiming that it was all to our design, to maintain that focus and maintain that, let's be fair, illusion that we were in control of the situation. It was the best I could do at the time. Everyone believed it, so we're still in power, and we're still maintaining that semblance of power, and there is no angst against the Seventh Eye. We still rule, we still have our deportment, we still have our position, and Caradoc is also no more.
That is interesting, and it is also good news. I hope that Caradoc died slowly screaming.
He could have done. However, my rage was such that he went out brief, in agony, but my rage was such that I could not let him stand.
Well, you will also be pleased to know that I found who gave Caradoc the direct orders to slay Erstadt and to undermine us before the king, Bjorn of the Unberogen.
Bjorn gave the direct orders?
No.
Oh, sorry, I misinterpreted it.
The destruction of Erstadt by the Victorious are no Victoria would act alone. They would have to take the life of a Seventh Eye, only the order of a Seventh Eye. And I have found that person. Unfortunately for you, it is your friend Godric, but I know that you are loyal and that his treachery, you will celebrate that he has been captured and his works undone.
What else had he planned to do? Do we know?
He is yet to fully break. The old fool, he's so close to death he thinks that his heart might give out before my administrations. But I have my ways and means. As it stands, in case of other treacheries, I have sent Ubin to command the forces at the Brackenwalch. You will do everything in your power, no doubt, to help fellow councilmen?
Oh, absolutely. That's still the plan, is to bring everyone to fruition and to the desired area to sow the seeds of discord. I'm stunned, however, that Godric would... I can't understand why he'd make a challenge towards you.
He came in, not moments after it all happened. He came in quietly, confidently declaring his challenge, believing that with the Umberogan rising up, that it would be enough to topple my power. He was wrong, because someone like yourself was there to take vengeance for the Seventh Eye. His power base is undone before it could take strength. To think the old fool would walk into my tent and declare his challenge at that age, without you there, that is the only reason it is the only reason I know and believe that you were not involved.
I am genuinely stunned by the revelation. I don't know why he would make a power play so late in his life. I'm stunned. I am stunned. It does make sense, however, that a Vaktari would be commanded and wouldn't be doing it out of his own initiative, which would have been even more of a concern. And the rest of the Vaktari, they're loyal?
We shall find out. Once the Brackenwalch is cleansed and Booster returns, we shall find out, one way or another. We shall break some, and she will find out some truths. With Karadak slain, unfortunately we have lost much information. We believe it could have been gained, but it matters little.
Are we confident that the Thane is on our side and he is not in cahoots? Because that would be somewhat of a blow.
The Thane is 100% loyal. I know this. There is no challenge to his loyalty to our cause.
Because of the untimely exit of Verstad, matters also need to be considered about a new Zaknik for the Umberogan at some point, at some stage. They will be leaderless with the events that will befall Bjorn and his queen, and we will need to have people here.
Perhaps you should take on that role until we can find a suitable client. I didn't say that. A suitable Zaknik to replace. We were not in a position, we have not prepared anybody. I would like someone that is more astute, is more of a challenge to the Umberogans. A stronger personality perhaps, and someone that is loyal to me.
I see the validity in that. I was obviously Zaknik for many years, and in the vacuum that will arrive, that may work.
A Soviet has more power than a Zaknik. When the king and the queen are dead, you can report back, and I've decided that you will tell them that it was the Tutagens.
The Tutagens. Ah. Said just checking his map, see where the Tutagens are. Yes. Yes. Well, that will stir up conflict amongst the tribes and keep them slightly off balance.
Well, it would obviously improve that the Tulutans are involved somehow. That entire area. Fall to war. The Ringians already march at our command.
Have we heard any news of this alleged northern force that may have be heading in the general direction of the Enclave? Is that intelligence still accurate, or was that turned out to be nothing?
The Norsai and Robsmen are attacking the Adosis. They have made quite a large foray into their tribe, into their lands.
Normal summer campaigning, or something more?
No, just normal summer from what we understand. I have yet to get an update. I have not been told otherwise.
with Buso out on other matters with his Talon, is our intelligence good from the Vactaria? Is there anyone who is looking in that on our behalf, or should Buso perhaps?
Not yet. It will only take another day or two before Buso shall arrive. He shall return victorious. Obviously, with your assistance and with Ubin there in command, I can see no way that the king and queen can escape our fury. The Umbrogans will be broken by this, the loss of their royal family and the attack of the Tutujans and the Tulutans. We shall make sure that the area is weakened. It will allow for the northern tribes to make a good example of the Theodosius before we ride north to right that wrong. All is coming to fruition. Everything that we need for the year, those that believe themselves strong are now weakened, and they will continue to do so. The region will fall, the Thuringians will march.
Have we considered... I have been away from the Umberogan for some time, and unfortunately because Erstadt is no longer here, do we have a new family in mind to take over the Umberogan kingship, the new tribal leader, to people that we know, a family that we could work with is perhaps aspiring for more power? Has that been identified? I am out of the loop.
No. I trust that you can do so. And that in place. It was up to Erstadt. He was supposed to have put somebody in. He said that he had the perfect candidate. He never told me who it was.
It's unfortunate. I shall check his library and see if there's anything that he may have written down. Unfortunately, he looked as though that whilst he had many interests in commerce than anything else, sadly he on a very cursory periphery check, I could not see any pertinent documents of his thoughts. He may have hidden a journal. I shall take some small time to look at that before we immediately get the king and his queen moving. That, of course, being the principal concern that I have. Is there any other instructions, my lord?
2 nights from now, make sure that they're at the Hag Mother's hovel. I don't want this to go on longer than it has to. I want Buso back here, and I shall continue to work with Godric.
As you wish.
2 nights from now means that literally it's like leave tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
We'll leave in the next few... You've got to leave in the morning and it's already gone midnight, so you're talking sort of like about 5-6 hours you'd be wanting to go. Because you've got a pregnant woman, heavily pregnant, you're not going to be able to move at the speed you did, and that was relaxed.
Right. Is the contact broken?
If you break it.
Yeah, I'll break that contact.
Okay.
I'll stop for a second.
Yep.
And then, with the utmost care and using the sort of the lightest touch of my will, I'm going to venture forth and see if I can contact Godric to find out if his mind's open and receptive.
He's in a lot of pain.
Yep.
But he is conscious.
He is conscious.
But he is in extreme... He knows nothing but pain.
Can
However, his will is unbroken.
Is it possible to make contact with him, or am I just aware of his...
You'd probably want to scry. I mean, you are aware that there's fire, but unless you actually travel, you're not going to know if there's anyone else there. And if there's another Semnathai,
they'll be able to pick up
the conversation. They'll be able to see you form. But if there's no Semnathai in the room, the only way to do that is you could basically go across there. And
what I'll try... Okay, so I need a bowl of water.
Yeah.
I'll get a bowl of water and put it down, and then I'll try and see if I can see into the room just basically take a little drop and let that drop just fall, so it forms a little droplet, and that's almost going to be my eye in that room, and just see if I can peep through. It's a very, very tentative. It's not like a big just to see if there's anything there, if there's a hint of a sight of, can I get a view of the room? Yep.
So Godric is he's pinned to a crossbar. He's stripped naked, and skin has been cut from his chest, skinned. It still hangs. It hasn't been completely removed. There is a fire pit in the centre with which many devices of torture are heated or have been, and you can see that there are 2 Vactari on guard, but there is a low level, very low level Semnathai. You know from a Semnathai point of view that low level are used as early warning. They're not very clever, they're not trained, they're very low level in that sense, but they're sacrifices. They'll be aware of something powerful coming into the room, you know, a rising power. But as a result of their weakness, generally it's because it's something that one of the darker powers that you know exist will normally snuff them out, and that's their warning. You know, they're like a little...
They're
like
a canary.
A canary, yeah. You're
Okay.
aware that to go any further, you'd have to kill them. That would not leave a trace. That wouldn't say if you were quick enough, you could get in and out, whatever. I don't know what you're planning, of course. But in going forward, at some point, someone's going to come along and find them dead.
And wonder how that out.
They wouldn't wonder. They'd know that something of power came in and snafu'd him. But yeah, he is literally just sitting there, and he is just there to... If you don't snuff him out, he'll know who's there. He'll, you know, the longer you're there, he'll be able to actually state, you know.
It's something that the low levels can actually say who it was, or...
If you used fire, yes, they could see you. They could share the conversation. But if you're like in the room sort of thing, you're one of the council 6. They all know who you are by default.
Yeah.
So you've got less chance of getting past without being known. But they're not normally strong enough that they can go, oh, I was, you know, blah, 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 and then, you know, you can overwhelm them without any shadow of a doubt. There's even ways, you know, you're not an evil incarnate. There's not even real reason for you to kill him. There's no doubt many ways that you can have him go to sleep or wander off. You can influence him. Your will is vastly stronger than his. But at some point, it's going to be clear that something of power came through the room. What that was, of course, he's not going to be able to say specifically it was you.
Right. I'll break that content on the plate. I need to think. I need to think about how I'm going to do this, or what I'm indeed going to do. I'll just take a time to contemplate while this is going on.
Yep.
And I won't go out the room. I'll just stay where I am. Think this through.
I take your Grombrindal and the king. You can tell that the king's tired and not wanting to sit up and drink after you've had your second flagon with him. You know, he's not the youngest man in the world by any means, and he has a journey ahead of him. His pregnant wife is already retired. Even etiquette doesn't dictate at any circumstance that a pregnant queen has to stay. But that sort of that sense of wonder that one of the mountain folk has come to the Umbarogan tribes across all the leagues between the mountains and the Umbarogans specific. You know, it's wearing off on a tired king who's already literally just been asleep after having a massive drinking session.
King Bjorn, you should rest.
Honor dictates, my lord, that I stay here with you unless you take to your bed. I can have suitable accommodation, obviously put to one side, but if you are wishing to participate, then though I'm not a young man, I am more than happy to raise a flagon or two and see which one of us is still standing come late morn. It's false bravado. You can see the blackness under his eyes. He's hanging. You look into your cup, and one of the servant girls immediately steps up and pours another, fills it up.
Well, thank you.
You can see the king looks at like, oh, his is then topped up. Aha!
Hey,
To peace and
to many other things.
Yeah, the froth of his tash and beard thrown into the fire before him.
So I'll finish mine and say, I insist you should go and spend some time with your queen. I should retire.
As you wish, Grombrindal. I shall see you in a few hours. If you are still wishing to travel to the east, into the Brackenvalch. If not, then we shall see you when we return. He stands, finishes his tankard off, puts it down beside his throne, bids you a further farewell, and walks off. As he's doing so, saying, make sure that his cup is overflowing at all times. Asthmatic cat.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah, he's having a bit of a problem again the last couple of days.
I will head. I don't have a room. Let's go and sleep on the floor. There's a big fire there, isn't there?
Yeah.
I'll just go and sleep by the fire.
Just lie on a
Let's go and
Yeah,
lie next to
just
it.
slip down off your chair.
Just lie on the stone floor. Oh, cool. So cool. Oh.
Getting into the dwarven spirit.
Get in dwarven spirit. Oh, God. Be fighting later on. Get
Right, yeah, you lie down and very quickly you're asleep.
Dragonlance, dwarf spirit. Fire breath. Wah!
Excellent.
Putting the onus straight back on you.
Yeah,
That was quick.
I know.
Well,
Went full gully dwarf on me.
Bastard.
Have I ever tried to attempt in spirit form to take anything through an object rather than just like?
You tell me.
I'm trying to think that it's. I don't think I've ever done anything like that. I want to. The object of the that I had hidden in my room, the one with the bird-like object, it wasn't very pleasant. That may refer to the dog. I want to try and project that. It's going to take a lot of power because it's physically going to be manifesting, and not just my spirit. I'm going to be manifesting.
Oh, you want to physically be in the room?
I want
to be actually seen as if you were there.
I want to leave that object there. I want to leave that object there with just the bodies of the dead surrounding it. But I'm thinking, I'm just contemplating. This is my internal monologue. I'm just muttering to myself. But it's Ingvar will feel this. The council will feel this because it's quite a manifestation.
Everyone with power will
yeah,
feel
this is going to be like how.
What?
Yeah. I'm still contemplating. Back over to the gully dwarf.
Sleepy time.
Interesting scene. I start snoring.
You kick.
no.
You scratch.
There's a fart. Meanwhile, a small cat walks through the alleyway. It comes across a dog which sits and stares at it for a moment. The dog scratches behind its ear. It then looks at the cat and says, "Woof." The cat, with a hiss and a meow, stomps off into the alleyway, a bit put out by the fact. One of the Umberogan tribesmen walking the night's clear air, patrolling, stops to look at the dog. The dog again utters the word "woof" before wandering away. The guard, someone put out, takes a couple of steps past by the next corner before realising the dog didn't bark.
He said woof. Well, he said woof. Woof.
He used to say wolf.
Shaking his head, muttering to himself.
Gasboard scampers off. You're familiar with the dog Gasboard?
No?
No? Oh, it's a shame.
He's a great hero.
Extremely powerful hero character, Gasboard.
Passport.
Yeah.
Anyways.
I'll go and investigate.
You're asleep?
Am I?
Yeah.
I actually falling asleep.
Yeah, but I was just, passing on the night that, when epic things happen,
Yeah.
more mundane things continue.
Yeah.
The world goes on. The hills are still going to be there in 100 years, looking down upon...
Not in 2,000 years.
Not in 2,000 years.
Yeah.
No, 2,500 years, they're gone.
No, it's gone. It's just a big ball of cinders.
Yeah, nobody saw that coming.
Yeah.
Making all this completely pointless. But Gasboard, somewhat marginalised at this stage, listens keenly, one ear cocked, not entirely sure that he can hear what seems to be an audible scream followed by "Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god!" and the sound of 100 feet trampling passes by. Spontaneously,
It's just
a pile of rubbish turns into a dustbin.
the faint hint of the smell of sapient pear wood. Is that sapient? It's all beyond him. It's
I have
completely
no
beyond him.
idea what he's talking
He
about.
tries again to master the intricate form of communication that is dog. Woof. Woof. Ah, bugger it.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, there's this Umberogan. He was a ditch digger. However, he's the first in his family line to decide to try something new. Seeing as trade has been founded, has been formed, seeing it as an opportunity for his family, he spends the nights, looking for rats. And when he finds rats, he puts them on a stick. He then spends the most of the day selling them down by the wharf. Rat on a stick. Rat on a stick, he calls. He's called Dibbler.
Just realised that throat dibbler.
Cut round throat, governor.
Throat dibbler. I forgot about throat dibbler. That was a classic one. Giving it away. Come here, throat, you know. Come here, throat. I'm giving it away. Throat dibbler. Rat on a stick.
I don't know what's going on.
Well, you're just going through this. It's like a fevered dream where you're
This is
all
a
coming
dream.
here like,
Okay. That's nightmares.
A guy
Dog that
stopped.
says wolf.
Throat
Guy
dibbler.
that sells rats and sticks.
Genuine meat. Cut me round throat, Dibbler.
Oh yeah. Right. I come to a decision after musing on what I could possibly do to potentially help my old friend and comrade and mentor over these many decades that is Godric. And I realise that there's nothing I can do for him except Godspeed. No, wish him, because I need to consider that there's no way of doing anything without announcing my presence. And
Well, announcing something's presence,
But
but
it's-
unless it'll be your presence, unless they walk in and somebody walks in and finds you.
but the Soviet,
Depends how quick you want to get in there.
yeah, the Soviet, but I know that Soviet could then tease out the smell, the essence of the magic that's used. I can't think of any way.
Speed.
I'm really torn by wanting to just leave my mentor, an almost father-like figure, to the gentle and tender ministrations of Ingvar. And whilst his spirit is indomitable and his techniques for defeating pain are many and varied, it's not insurmountable. And he will eventually break, and it will be horrible for him.
Yeah.
And that's what's keeping me up, whilst my erstwhile colleague dreams of rat in a stick and throat dibbler. Which is very specific. I take a time to mutter to Tal, and it's sort of not in benediction, not in a cry for help, but more just an aside comment, as you would do, like,
Yeah.
Tal, I need help here. I need to work out how I can speed my comrade away from this. And I'm just letting my other thoughts go out into the ether to come back, so that my subconscious mind goes, why not do this? And at the moment, I'm drawing a blank. But I'm still staring at the flames, desperately trying to think of a way. And that's where I am at the moment. That's what he's doing. He's getting up, and he's pacing and looking. And if anyone was to hear him, be like, "Oh, the seventh eye is pacing a lot. Let's not go in that room."
It's not that.
Yeah.
No, nobody wants to go near the corridor that your room's on.
I come to a decision, and it is a gathering of my will, and I'm going to find that brooch
Mm-hmm.
and hold it in my hand, contemplate moving it, and I'm going to fling my consciousness at the speed of thought
Yep.
towards Godric's tent, and basically I will manifest as flame inside. That's all it'll appear. It's just raw power
From the fire itself.
from the fire
It'll rise
itself.
up.
Yeah, and just burst out. And my intention to burst out is to engulf the seventh eye watchdog and the two Vactari that are close by basically in a massive rush of power, which will immolate and set everything on fire. To be fair, there's no way of controlling that. It's going to exhaust me.
You know,
It'll be like ringing a huge bell, as well as
it'll end Godric.
and it will end Godric.
Yeah.
But it will end
But
everything.
for a moment, you'll hold the fire. I'm assuming you're going to hold the fire back from him, because
Yeah,
the
yeah.
tent will go up immediately.
Yeah, it's a matter of
You
just
know, it's immolation, but you can hold it around him enough to communicate.
Yes.
Or are you there literally to kill him or communicate?
well, the communication.
Save him in a sense.
It's to end it quickly. And it is to. There'll be no conversation, because I don't wish to be heard. and there's a chance that someone may hear the voice.
Yeah.
But is to appear as the conflagration is going up, is to say him, nod to him, so that he, in his mind, he may not be able to open his eyes, but he'll be aware that I was there, and basically then to let that conflagration just burn through. But I'm also going to leave that. I'm going to transfer that brooch and take it with it, and leave it, such that when the fire burns out, it won't be a melted piece of slag. It'll be there.
Perfectly.
Yeah.
Kept. So you're gonna put
like a bubble over
barrier over it, which will break down,
and it'll dissipate once people get in, because obviously they'll be like, oh, this thing's on fire. They're not going to rush in with, and try and beat it out, or bring water and try and throw it out. So it'll be there, and
you'll just leave it until it burns out.
Yeah, until it burns out.
Okay.
But leave that brooch in a place where obviously it'll be found.
Yep.
And then I'm going to rest, because I'm going to be tired.
Okay.
Because that's quite a. It's usually the case when I, with that sort of not demonstration of power, but that usage of power, I normally need to have a bit of a sleep.
Yep.
And so that's me out for the night.
You step forward through the flame in that moment. It is just a speed of thought. The flames erupt. The seventh eye there is, and the Victoria, the heat is such that it burns the air from their lungs. They don't even get a chance to give out a scream as the fire, goes straight into their open mouths and eyes. They die almost instantly from this magic-induced flame. The fire that hot, it literally causes bones to explode. And in that moment, literally held across this cross-section, skin flayed from his naked body, Godric looks up and smiles as you see the fire around him. His head goes up and the flames come along, but he doesn't feel the pain. And he just looks up and he gives you you have that moment of a farewell smile as the fire engulfs him. He is so weak; it takes very little, and the fire is so hot, so powerful. And you manage to drop the brooch on the floor, forming the bubble around it. You are aware the fire created this overwhelming roaring sound, and nothing else. And you're in the middle, in the calmness of it, as flame incarnate. You put it down, you drop, and then you start a retreat. As you retreat, you realise that as you're heading back at the speed of thought, something follows you. Something's coming with you. You snap back into your body. You're sitting obviously cross-legged, I assume, still, and you're breathing, you're panting, and you're just aware that the room is jet black. It is pitch black, but the darkness is alive. It's inside the room. The room itself, you can't see the walls. You're just aware that something came back with you.
I'll form a bubble around myself to try and, like a shield. I'll just, it is a secondary defence to, right, I don't know what this is, but I don't want it to be getting close to me.
Yep.
As I get up, I realise there's frost forming around me. This is clearly recognisable. I understand that there's only one person here that can do this.
Through the open door, mist comes in.
I follow the mist.
It comes from your right, heading to the back of the great hall.
I grab the axe.
Yeah.
There's axe in it.
Yeah.
I grab the axe and follow the mist into what I expect is.
As you step past the fire, which is you see is smothered by the coldness in the room. The frost is flowing over the forms of the serving girls and the servants that are sleeping on the floor in the alcoves. You can see it literally comes over them. You see the skin pales, going white. Frost literally is forming around their bodies. It's turning to ice, and they are becoming one. Frost, when it turns into crystal white, it flows across their body. You can hear it, and it freezes them while they're sleeping. You can see their breath go. And at last, you see that last exhalation as you step forward. You feel no cold, but you're aware of the darkness, and then something literally on the peripheral vision as you stand there and you're moving towards the back of the hall. Something goes. You just see a flitting shadow. You get the impression of something that is not formed but human in shape, athletically built, no hair, just a shadow form but really smooth, and like as if it's the image or the form of a body. It passes you by, heading swift as thought.
I'll just pick up pace as quick as I can.
Full on charge.
Full on charge.
As you start charging, you hear ahead of you the sound of like a sort of sound you've never heard before. It is literally like something just going. She has something start. You see the door ahead of you freezing. You see the wood literally going pale. The frost forming in the cracks. The wood starts to crack, and you see the in the shadow this form in between you and the door.
I'm gonna charge it.
In the room, you form this barrier, and around the barrier you see you're lying on the rug on a wooden floor, slightly away from the fire. Around where this barrier is, which is normally invisible, you see it actually. The dome becomes visible as this frost forms across it. The entire room becomes as if it's in an ice cave. You've been in places where it's that cold that ice is formed in such a way. The ground, however, the timber around it blackens with extreme cold, whereas on the other side, the barrier in this perfect circle is untouched. Ahead of you, you can see your door, which suddenly just goes and explodes with timber, and you see this embodied shape or form, a shadow thing, come through the door and then stop. It lets out a screech. You see its mouth open and its ferocious, multi-layered fangs and teeth, and it turns, and you see this. Well, what do you do?
A charge. 'Cause I'm assuming this from my.
It turns,
side.
it goes like that, and then you see Grombrindal come charging through. He's literally managing to actually hold on to what can be the shadow, this frost creature. He's got a hold of it, and I'm assuming if you're charging, he shoulder barges it in. This ridiculously double-bladed battle axe. You see the blades shine almost bright white. The metal is so perfect, and it reflects a light that doesn't exist. It is in his right massive hand as he barges into this shadow creature, this thing that has no real form, but yet he's making contact with it, and you slam through the room.
Through it, yeah. I'll carry on with the momentum. I'm trying to pin her up against the back wall.
You pin up against the back wall, like that?
Yeah, and grab her by the throat and just, if I'm by its neck, and just start crushing it.
Okay. Your hands come together as if there's nothing there. The mist literally tears and shatters. It lets out a screech, and then the mist flows or disappears. You turn around, you can see this. What appears right in front of this form is this snow dome. There's no sign of the Semnathai, but there's more shadow creatures start coming through. Your axe shines even brighter. It's actually a pure white light that shines into the room. You can see perfectly fine, but it blatters. It pushes the shadows back, but not entirely destroys them. As they flit to the corners and around, you see them trying to find a way to get to you, get to the dome. As they can see you as a direct threat. They are moving at a really fast pace, but you find yourself born of a speed that belies your shape and size and stature.
I just slam the axe into the ground.
Okay, it bites into the wood. The wood shatters under it. It's already deeply frozen. That main crossbeam was quite a big piece, and it goes and snaps, falls through. You can see the dirt in the gap between you and the Great Hall.
That was more of just a challenge to them.
You pull the axe back out.
No, that was more of a challenge.
Oh, bugger! Didn't want to do that. Ruined that. I just need a bit of buffing to
That's
get
a
that out.
hell of a repair job.
Yeah, just need a bit of polyfiller. You'll be fine.
I mean, the beam's like that thick. Shatters under your strike.
So I'm
You
back
can
into
feel
the.
barrier. You're directly what left of your power is also linked directly to your conscious self, and as you weaken, you can feel the pressure on the barrier itself. These attacks, it's almost like boom, 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 and it starts to crack, and you're forming it smaller and smaller, trying to conserve your energy. It's only a matter of time before they break through, but now you're completely obscured. You have no idea where Grombrindal is, what's happened to him. But in your mind, you know that these creatures are Semnathai formed. They are a ritualistic summoning from the demon dimensions, from the other realms. They are literally to seek, to follow the line of power back and consume it.
Right. So it was trapped.
Yeah.
I will just attack anything that comes anywhere near the snow, the dome.
You're just assuming he's under there.
I'm assuming he's under there because there's no. This is his room.
And he's not.
He's not. Yeah, he's not.
And you can see them striking at it, as
Yeah,
well
yeah.
as you. After a couple of moments, you've got a couple of cuts on your armor, slash marks across the metal shoulder pad. You've got black chainmail. It gets caught. Nothing's getting through. You get a little light scratch across your arm. Things that you're more than used to in sparring sessions, but your blade strikes out each time. True speed is fast. You can't give into thought. You almost fall into a kata during a training session because you realise that the enemy is not normal. It is not coming at you in a shield wall, roaring. It doesn't fear. You cannot think. You can't stop to think where that strike will go. You always fall, like I say, into a training regime. Your eyes nearly closing, breathing and fighting on pure instinct. After what seems like just a couple of moments and your axe is cutting through these things, you slash out where you can. The bed chamber is completely ruined. The bed is cut to pieces. Everything is so brittle from the cold that even a heavy foot stomp as something tries to get by you and you stamp on its tail, bringing your axe down, destroying the creature. The timbers crack and break and start to fall. You can see furnishings fall from the wall. Snow is starting to... the frost is turning to snow in depth. It's falling upon you. And with the light from your axe, reflecting from the snow, and with these moving shadows and not able to track, you literally become consumed. Instead of in the darkness, it becomes white. Everything becomes light so that you cannot see anything. Haggard, your breathing becomes a little bit more strained, like you have pushed out for some time, and then you fall to your knees, not because of exhaustion, maybe it was a blow, but you just find yourself suddenly down on your knees, and you look up to see that you're no longer in the room. You're in a jungle, in a forest. You recognise the great forest itself. The ground around you is instantly frosted, but immediately defrosts in the warmth of the late spring evening sort of temperatures. You look around and you are aware of somehow suddenly being in the fetal position, lying on the forested floor carpet.
Right. And any you aware of looking at the stars? Any idea where I am?
You're not far from. You're between. Yeah. So. Looking up, you vision yourself between the Druid Enclave and the Reichdorf.
I'll let my senses quest out to seek animals, the normal breathing of the forest, and see if there's anything in there that's amiss. Is there anything?
You've sensed no life anywhere.
No life anywhere.
No.
So I can see Ulmakor.
Yep.
Oh.
You see him. He's lying in the fetal position,
Right.
looking up. As you watch him, he looks up at you can see his eyes are closed. He's taking a breath.
I stand up from. I'm still in. Obviously, I've taken to my knee or to my knees, am I?
Yeah.
Yeah. I stand up. I head over to Ulmakor. Look over to see if he sort of notices.
Am I aware of my surroundings?
You're aware of him approaching you.
Right. Okay. I don't know how we've come here. This is not of my doing. But we need to be very, very careful because something is very much amiss. I can't sense any life around here.
That's the miss.
That's a fairly amiss, yes.
Not the fact that we were in your room a second ago.
I didn't bring me. I am not the reason why we've been brought here.
So who brought us here?
Well, we may be finding out. As I say, I can't sense any life where we are. That's not normal in this forest. I can't sense a worm. I can't sense a bird. Can you hear anything? I'll stop talking.
For the first time in your life, you know true silence. The actual, it's like a power in itself. Actual silence. You realise you've never known silence until now. There is nothing.
Even the rustling of trees.
Nothing.
Or
There is no wind. There is an absolute
silence.
depth to this silence.
How am I doing in terms of strength? Am I weak as a kitten?
You are.
Capable of moving? Can I stand up and all that?
With assistance.
I'll assist.
Right.
You feel like you've been bedridden from some kind of wasting disease for months. You find it difficult to walk. Your breathing is ragged.
And is the wind in the trees? Is the movement?
Nothing. Nothing.
I'll stop for a moment. Are we still in our world, or are we somewhere else?
Seems to be your world.
Barring the absence of any noise.
Absolutely, yeah.
Not
and
even
that in itself is obviously
Somewhat disconcerting.
It's against the laws of nature.
Yeah. So
There should always be some sound somewhere.
there's not even a sound of
There's
the
nothing.
trees rustling in the wind. Is
No.
there a sign of the trees moving?
No,
Even the grass was
nothing.
nothing moves.
There's nothing. No sound.
Yeah, but this is a movement.
Put it this way: the lack of sound is deafening.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we can
No, but can we see movement? You know, fair enough. It's like imagine
Nothing.
being deaf, but it's
Nothing's
no
moving.
moving at all.
Nothing's
All
moving.
right.
Everything is still, as if
frozen?
paused,
Right. Okay. Okay.
holding its breath, waiting.
And are we in a defensible position, or are we just in the
You're
forest?
just literally lying in the middle of the forest.
Do I recognize? I mean, do I? Am I be able to navigate? Because since I've
You
traveled,
can see the stars.
yeah.
You know what direction
Right,
to head. If you
okay.
want to head to right door,
Right.
you recognise the stars. You've got a vague idea of where you are.
Okay.
Obviously, normally you would get to a certain point. You'd be aware of travelling.
Yeah,
Just
you-
suddenly just appear there. It's a very disconcerting situation. But you can sort of go, well, I would right off in that direction. And we are rough, But this way, obviously the stars aren't a grid. So you can't
you can't
really
measure
tell
off,
how
yeah.
close you are to any direction. But you kind of go, well, I know where we are. I recognise that the forest itself is familiar. So
Yeah.
by that way, west is right off.
Do we
we-
head west
we-
to Ragdorf?
Yeah, we need to get out of here. We need to find out. We need to get back into reality because we're not in reality. This is not normal. This is not my devising, and I don't wish to stand around here and wait to find whatever it is that's brought me here.
Well, let's move. Let's pick him up.
Oh.
Start running.
I'll need help.
I'm not sticking around.
He unceremoniously throws you.
Oh, hold on a minute.
You're a lot closer to the ground as he runs.
Yeah.
His
Head's bouncing on the ground. Hey, hold on a minute.
legs start pumping.
See how-
Which direction you heading?
Ragdorf. To Ragdorf.
Yeah,
Yeah.
heading west.
Heading west to Ragdorf.
Yeah, okay.
See how fast his legs can go.
Okay.
We're going to sprint.
Yeah,
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
I'm running.
Right. So with the seventh eye upon your shoulder, you start running west. You don't have anywhere near the agility that you have spent in the last 20 of years
Gutted.
developing.
And you're not as tall as well. Gutted. Doubly
You
gutted.
stumble when you shouldn't, but you make up for that by pure power. And you barrel through things. You stumble but hold your own by sheer strength of leg, and you do revel in this immense strength, while also somewhat galled by the lack of agility, which you have very little of. And you pump your way, run through the forest, and in short order, as Tal would have it, you see the trees thinning out as it gets into with the evidence of wood cutting, and you start approaching. You see the moonlight coming through more easily ahead of you, and you get into the more forested area, signs of man, until you look down upon Reichdorf ahead of you.
Oh, so we weren't that far away at all?
No.
Keep going. Head on in.
Okay, you pound your way down the ridge itself. You get to the bridge, you cross the bridge. You see ahead of you. You're still carrying him, or you're going to slow down and let him walk, or
No.
you're going to literally go charging into Reichdorf with a 7th eye on your shoulder?
Well, is he? Well, I'll get to.
Let me stand. Let me
Okay.
have some sort of decorum. Also, let's have a listen to see whether we've
You
escaped.
are bruised. You've taken a battering. That wasn't comfortable.
No, I can imagine.
The wind has been driven out you more than once, and as he puts you down, you can literally feel your abs were not meant for that.
No.
And you've sustained some uncomfortable injury.
I feel like I've just done a half an hour with the shake weights.
Maybe more.
Shake weights.
I hope your audio came through there, because otherwise all they got is skiing.
Milky.
No, milky.
Can't be
I'll
up front, blah.
I'll
You put him down.
I'll put Ulmakor down.
You have not been able to gain much strength in your legs from this jarring run for the last
Right.
10 minutes. Your legs are shaking. Your gut hurts like a fire. It is, you have sustained some bruising to the muscles, to the core, and you end up falling flat on your rump.
Right.
As you do so with a whoof, and your anger rises, obviously, with this unceremonial
dumping
this, how dare you? But literally the words stall in your mouth as you look upon Reichdorf and note that the town itself is like everything around you, frozen. It's solid. It's not frozen. There's no frost.
No, but it's
not
still.
lit.
It's
You see the wax, the whale oil filled lanterns and braziers that form on either, held at the gates to give some light. Don't flicker. The light is the source is there more just as a glow. You look and your eyes pick out the sentries who stand there. The banners that are hanging down the front of Reichdorf with the signal of the Umberogen are just lying flat.
all right. So it's like we're frozen in time. Time stopped.
Yes.
There's no flickering. There's no wind. People are still as statues.
Yeah.
Is that? Have I ever encountered that as a side effect of anything?
You don't know the power behind that could do this. You don't know how to do this.
And it's certainly not something that my Soviet comrades would be.
Not that you'd be. Well, bear in mind, you are the most powerful.
And I don't know.
Well, up until the point that you realise that Ingvar might be up to something that he's unaware of himself.
Yeah.
But you are, based on Ingvar's natural level that you are aware of, because you don't know. I mean, Ingvar might be just Ingvar. Right?
Yes.
That's the point. He's just Ingvar. And based on Godric's assumptions and both your actual experience and knowledge, you are by far the most powerful of the Seventh Eye ever.
Yeah.
And there's a reason for that, and you've been given a label now.
Yes.
And you couldn't do this. There is no such power. No.
Is there a sense of any unease, other than the fact that it's alien and not natural? That sense of it is there. When we went into the Shadow Realm and saw, like when we went into before we got to Moore's Realm and we saw like there was a difference that was like we're in a different. We're somewhere different. It looks like it could be part of the human realm, but we're not. The sense that we're not in reality, we're in another reality, or is there a sense of oppressive evil around here?
There's nothing. There's no feeling of anything. There's no decay. There's no birth. There's no joy. There's nothing. There is zero. There is literally just you and Grombrindal. Grombrindal stand there. You're sitting on the ground, legs out in front, looking at Reichdorf. You're staying at Reichdorf. It's overcast, but the clouds don't move. The trees don't sway, animals don't move. You didn't notice any animals, you were just charging. By the way, as well, something I should point out, you can see perfectly at night. You can see as if it was in great daylight. In fact, you see hues of colour when you look at him. You can see him as a red heat signature, effectively, as well as his perfect outline.
Perfect. That's that. Perfect outline.
Yeah, he's perfect.
Perfect outline.
He's got an awesome jaw.
Yeah.
He's just damn handsome.
Yeah.
Wow, that's strange.
You can say that again. Don't say it again. I think we should journey back to the king's room, or go back to my room and see whether there's anything changed in my room.
No, I mean, I see really well.
You see? What do you mean you see really well?
I could never see this well as Karadak. I mean, I know I am Karadak.
You're not making any sense. What was your name, Karadak? Your Grombrindal?
Grombrindal.
Grombrindal. I'll have to take time to remember that. Grombrindal.
So as Grombrindal, I can see really well. It appears Grombrindal can see in the dark.
Right.
Grombrindal.
Grombrindal.
Grombrindal. That's going to wind up somebody that's turning up eventually.
Yeah.
No, I'm Grim.
Grombrindal.
Well, should we?
got that wrong.
Let's
Switching on my
garments. Just write that down. Yeah, just
Just
have a look at the back of it.
Grombrindal.
Go and check the back of your label. No.
Yeah.
Feel free to say, just call me Grom if you need to.
Oh, can you do that, please?
Call you Grom.
Just please call me Grom.
Please call me Grom, because if not, let's head back to the. Let's get back to the King's Air, the main hall.
Good idea.
But I'm not in my fine form at the moment, so
You need.
I don't need you to carry me because I don't think I can survive another carrying like that. So just aid me walking. Let's get through, and we'll try and
You
get.
seem to be the perfect height.
Yeah.
He helps you to your feet. You start heading back down the ridge towards the actual, the final few meters towards the bridge. Being the warrior that you are, you're aware of anything moving or not. So anything that does move is going to get your attention. You're as alert as you can be. Your eyes not obscured by darkness.
So I'll pick up
not
like
worried
if I
by shadow. You see anything that could potentially move, but you're aware. You are prepared for movement. You, leaning on him, because he's chest height. They're not. He's not waist height.
Yeah.
He's chest height. You're leaning on this solid form, and it does ease the pain and the burn, and you do feel some strength coming back your legs by pure adrenaline.
Mm-hmm.
Is it fear? Maybe something to think about. What caused it, but either way, the sense of survivability is you're recovering fast, and you do know you'll pay for it later. It's a false recovery, but it's your body, your mind is going, we're in trouble.
Yeah.
You happen to look up as there's a break in the cloud, and you literally hear him go, and he falls. His legs just give way beneath him, and he just lies there. You can see his eyes are wide. Colour drains from his face, even in the twilight of that this world seems to be in, and his eyes are just wide. You can't help the reaction as you see what appears to be the stars moving around the planet with such rapidity. You can actually see movement. You can see everything just moving above the clouds. The stars, the formation, and instead of it bringing night and day every 24 hours, it seems you'd expect day and night. The stars are just dragging themselves across. You just see everything moving. The cosmos, everything is just moving at such a speed that it literally makes you stumble, and you end up on your knees going, because the sheer scale of it is frightening.
So normal movement, the stars are traversing in their normal arc, their normal patterns, but rapid, such that it would take a best part of a year to see the movement, or even faster than that. And I'm seeing that movement.
You're watching literally the stars passing by. There's a constellation.
Yeah,
it's just moving at such a pace, and it is that moment of looking at the grand scale of things, looking into the deep darkness that surrounds the world. You know what you're looking at, whereas everybody else is looking at. Everyone has their perceptions, they have their beliefs, whether it be pinholes in the night sky, which the gods look down upon you. You know what you're looking at, and to see it move, the sheer scale of what you're seeing, your mind rebels against it, and that's what causes you to fall down on one knee. It's like like other people where they'll go out in the ocean and they'll swim and they can see the ground, and then they come to the edge, and you've got that drop.
The drop.
People go, whoa!
Yeah.
No, and suddenly the water feels colder, and there's something watching back.
And you can hear that cello sound.
And yeah, everything is moving at such a speed. But you notice the clouds above. There's a low-level cloud cover. That's what's obscuring this. But even above that, you can see it's actually affecting the world. The next level above that. The clouds are torn and moving. You can see light and then dark,
And yet here, everything's stopped.
As far as you can see. You can see the Reich, and the Reich is a huge, powerful river. It's the lifeblood of a continent, and it's not moving.
So, what?
Hard mother!
What? That's not time up, surely, isn't it?
Well, it is 11:15.
Dun, dun, dun,
We started, didn't we?
dun, dun. Oh, sorry, wrong
We
one.
just did some more chatting. Do you want to go a bit longer?
Yeah.
No. We're going to stop 4 in the morning.
Exactly, because you can keep on going. But that should be the end of it.
Well, hopefully it's not the end of it, and then
then
you
you
all die. And then the clouds will open up, and the speed of aging happens, and you instantly turn to 1,000 years old. Except for Grombrindal.
Is that the wrong
Grombrindal.
time?
Grumpy.
That's the right time.
Anyways, that's... Damn it.
That's that.
That is that.
What the?
I think something animalistic farted in here.
Yeah,
Something
well,
crap.
Wasn't
Yeah, that's an interesting spell.
Um,
And by interesting, I mean...
me.
bleh.
Wasn't me.
What the hell happened there? I'm like...
No idea.
Is that a counter spell? Have I just ever broke something? Or is that just... or in what I'm thinking, or is that just circumstantial? That it happened to be that after I did my thing, and there was a reaction to my thing, which was the shadow creatures, which is perfectly reasonable. This other thing's got nothing to do with it, but it just happened to be... And if I'd done now, and I just said, oh no, sorry Godric, you're just going to have to meet your maker in your own terms, this would have happened anyways. God! You see, guys, this is why you need to watch this stuff, because Kane writes really, really good scenarios.
whether you like it or not.
Even when you don't want to, when you just want an easy one, where you don't have to think and just hit things, can't be like
Not
that.
happening.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Make you think your way through fighting.
yeah.
The reason I stopped it there was simply because I believe that the next part could take us well past midnight. And
Right, okay.
I mean, I'm more than happy if you decide, if you went, let's go to one.
Yeah,
But if you don't want to go to
no,
one, because the thing is, we could probably get the next bit done, because we are moving at a speed. We can probably get the next bit done by 12:30, because we are actually at a section which our game was, there's a certain criteria.
I'd like
branch, and you went down a certain branch. So this happens. It just happened at a part of the night where.
You see, that's the other thing as well. He keeps on putting contingencies in, so you think, I've had this, and then you go like, right, well, because you did that. Did anyone ever do those fighting fantasy books? You know, the ones that says page 26 and you hold page 24 because it says, and you die. Oh, back to where you're like, let's go left. It's like one of those. You're like, I'll just glimpse. And it says,
back to when you need to go back. Remember that?
Yeah,
you have
your fingers
4 or 5.
Like that, like,
and then you'd have to get a bit of paper and write the numbers down.
Trying to get the fork. Oh, I've gone the wrong way. And it's like,
and then you die.
Was it Steve Jackson?
Yes.
Steve Jackson's fighting fantasy books.
He did this Demons. There was a set of 4 specials. He did a lot of books, series.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
They were all over the place, and you had Grey Wolf series and this and that. But he actually did this set of 4, and it was this quest against. Basically, effectively, you came up. You start off nice and gently with woodsman, and by the end of it, you were literally fighting a demon king.
You had to write down bits on paper because your strength kept on changing, and you had to write it all down. It was like, oh.
It was truly it was really good read. It was a good game, and it was a 4-part special, 4-book special.
But
that he did.
if anyone's have never seen it, you'd have the book like this, and you'd literally have your fingers like this. You'd be like, all right, I'm going to go there, and then you go, oh no, that's all right, and you're trying to keep the book. Because if not, it's just like back to the start. Oh, but I've been playing this for 6 hours.
And then I've died.
And then I've died.
Yeah, no dice book. It was great.
Yeah, no, that's exactly right. No dice book.
No dice book.
Yeah, there was a role play in a book.
I mean,
go to page 15 if you do this. Go to page 27 if you do that. And you had at the front would be a picture, and you had armour.
Yeah.
And you take the boon, and you have to flick to the front and quickly update your character sheet.
It was classic. Frustrating as, and of course you cheated like mad because you were trying. You're supposed to go page 20. Oh, I'm dead. Back to the start. And you were like, no, wait a minute. I'll go back to page 15 and 50. Oh no, where's the last fork?
I actually did have somebody role play that out.
Really?
Yeah. It was the GM back in the day, Craig Stoker.
Yeah.
So he had. It was actually the course now. My mind's clicking it all back. It's that 4-part series.
Yeah.
And we did book 1.
Craig, I'm not a child.
Yes. And he literally would sit. He sat there with the book, and that was the character, and I was like blah blah blah, and he just basically was reading it out, but it was really good. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Look, the thing to take it from that, guys, is that in terms of our ideas of a no dice system, there's a classic one. The dice wasn't necessary; it's just the story and your choices. I mean, it was linear, and it was frustrating because it was just like you were shunted down certain areas. So it was the early stages, but that was the happy days back in. I mean, they came out late 70s, early 80s. Those books.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think they probably, people just let them go and no, we're much more sophisticated now. But really, they were cracking fun.
They were, and they could still be now.
Back in the 70s, when I was a young man of only like 120, it was still like it was the thing to have because we only had 4 channels. You got kicked out of your room by your mother and told to go out and play and don't come back till tea time.
So you went out. Well, yeah.
Climb trees.
Yeah, pretty much, and broke things.
And
then came back.
Or each other.
Yeah, that was normally me.
Yeah.
Come back with busted eyes and snapped arms.
Yeah, go. It's great fun.
Yeah.
Your tea's ready. Thanks. Is the water margin on with the heroes of Liang Shang Po?
Water margin and monkey.
Monkey. The nature of stone monkey was irrepressible, which was the worst sort of like. Just terrible. And when you don't watch Monkey. Monkey's it does not test up to time. You watch it and go, it's awful. But I have seen. You probably.
Did you remember the first little monkey when he got
when
he's been in
told,
the mountain?
When he's been told off by the Buddha and he goes and has a pee against the
finger.
The finger, yeah.
He's peeing against the god's finger.
Against Buddha's finger. Thinks he's got to the edge of the universe, and then it turns out it was Buddha's finger that he was weeing against. But that doesn't hold up very well. But the water margin, that does. Pigsy and Fishy, the water demon and the pig demon, and he's a monkey. And the disconcerting thing was that the Buddhist boy, who I'm trying to remember what his name is, and you were like, you also go like, that Buddhist boy's strangely attractive, and then you find out it actually the Buddhist boy with the shaved head was played by a Japanese fashion model. And you're like, I was confused.
Female. fashion model.
Yeah.
Very male fashion model because that's
that also would be like, well, it was a different part of my life. But
that's why nobody likes to talk about what they really took away from Leon.
Oh yeah, yeah. Really?
Everyone's like, oh, brilliant movie.
Think about it. Oh yeah. How old is she? Oh, Leon. Leon.
Leave it.
No. But what was she called? What was his name? Anyways,
one of the cats has brought its little motorbike.
And so, anyways, that was and she died. Died of cancer. Got brain cancer and died. That's why there was another one. The series all stopped, which was really sad. But yes, Tripitaka. That was it. Yeah. That was always confusing to me. It was like, he's quite attractive. This is not right. And then
didn't have Google in those days.
Took
a while to work out it was a woman.
Just put it in the back of your mind. It'll sort itself out in time.
They redid that monkey thing, didn't they? It's on Netflix.
Yeah, they did a new monkey.
Or what?
Yeah, they redid it.
Oh, that's like doing the goodies again.
Yeah.
No, you don't want to watch that. You can only capture light in a bottle once.
He's like Australian or something.
Australian monkey.
Australian monkey.
I'm sure he's like Australian.
Typical.
Oh yeah.
I looked at it and went, nope.
No.
Then again, I went back to the original and went, why does that mountain that he's been buried in look like a giant piece of crap?
Yeah, it was awful.
It looked like poo.
Yeah, it was.
So when he's being dug out and his face, I'm going,
ooh.
They're digging through shit to get to him. It's did a rainstorm and they release him.
Yeah.
Because he's a minor god, isn't he?
Yeah, he's the monkey god. He's a monkey spirit.
Yeah.
He's a monkey spirit. The nature of stone monkey is irrepressible. Yeah.
Irrepressible.
And he puts the old band on his head to control him. Tripitaka. He has his cloud, which is the worst graphics in the world. It's like, oh my god, that's terrible. And it's obviously a little plastic man on top of a bit of cotton wool being dragged through the sky. Oh, and his cloud is going, that's awful. It's like, that's awful. That didn't work. Whereas with the water margin, because that was based on an old Chinese sort of tale, back pre-Ming, in fact pre the Shan, and that works out okay because it wasn't trying to be like coming up with too much sort of craziness. Except I didn't really like Ling Chung. I thought he was a bit weak. He's far too good for his own good, one-dimensional.
Whereas Pigsy and Fishy were really, really dark.
Yeah, they were.
Far darker than you realised when you were younger.
Especially Pigsy. He really revelled. He really wanted to try all the Epicurean delights there, and that counted for everything. Especially with that smile, like, yeah, that's... Really? You and Leon would get on well.
Yeah.
You'd probably meet in the
Hellfire.
Hellfire.
At each other.
No. You just sort of wink at each other across the room in the Hellfire Club, going, it's going to be one of those nights.
I'm glad that we don't have the Hellfire Club in this, because that was going down a dog.
The Hellfire Club, yeah. Now, if you ever want to, there's a particular book on the Hellfire Club, Real Society, and there was a particular doctor. I'm trying to remember the name of the guy. Anyways, he was, Hellfire Club did everything and tried everything twice. And this guy, I've told this tale before, who decided he would experiment by taking the adrenal gland of a fox.
4 days.
And he was in a rictus light, like, for 4 days.
We just left him.
Wonder where he is. He was like, and it's like, he decided to imbibe the adrenal gland of a fox
just to see what happened.
Just to see what happened. And what it did is it basically paralysed him for about 4 days, like literally just like, and all in his mind he was like a fly stuck, and that was him for 4 days, just to see what would happen.
Bear in mind that this was the place where the bishops were and the royal family.
It was the Hellfire.
People have basically started with. Well, that's why they're saying that the Hellfire Club was also a place of dark ritual and satanic magic and all that sort of stuff. Basically, it was the rich and the powerful turning up without anything would happen.
No societal constraints. It was all everything that was done that wasn't supposed to be done, but they still wanted to have an outlet for it. So they created the Hellfire Club, which is originally was buried into the hills. I forget where it is. Somewhere in Yorkshire, I think it was the first. But it was a society that kept on moving as new members came in, others died, and all that. That doctor, the adrenal gland of a fox, whatever possessed him, I don't know, but he wrote it down afterwards of his experiences, and it was just like,
we were members.
We're not supposed to talk about that. What happens in the Hellfire Club stays in the Hellfire. The first rule of Hellfire Club.
It does fit well into 40k.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We were members.
Yeah, we were members.
Whatever happens in Hellfire Club stays in Hellfire Club.
They didn't. They came out.
Too much.
I'm pretty sure that one of them sampled a demonette.
Right. Okay. That's gonna change your mind.
Especially in his mind, he was like, "Well, I am the emperor."
All right. Well, you're already touched, anyways.
When the most catastrophic physical incarnation of death is hanging out with you starts going, I am the Emperor, do you A, hang out with it and encourage its disbelief, or B, do you run like motherfuckers out of it?
Yeah.
Everybody was like,
Hey, demonettes are alright. That's just
that's the thing. I've just been with a demonette and they went, fair enough.
yeah.
Because what you got to do? Because he'll kill you if you get the wrong
That's
side of
good.
him.
That's good. Did you always have wings? Yeah, these are useful. And they're all multicoloured and glistening.
Hang on a
Woo!
minute. Was I the Quarantine then?
Yes.
Yeah.
Was I?
Yeah.
I thought it was the other dude.
Well, you were the emperor.
Oh, you mean the son of the Emperor?
Yeah.
That's all right then.
There's a certain thing about.
You're probably the son of the Emperor. I can't remember.
There's a certain thing that like they say sometimes that role playing. That
What were we?
you bring out some of the character that's inside you. There's a darkness to Talbot that's a bit worrying. Like a certain.
This peaceful, zen-like person on the outside. Yeah,
Fucking hell.
It smells like cat litter.
It does. It smells like the cat's just shot itself.
Or the dog is wafting in from the other room.
Or it's just the smell of. It's just where we're going to a dark place and we're bringing it with us.
It's pretty bad. Yeah, so, very quickly, for tonight, what happened tonight? What do we want to talk about? Anything we want to bring up? I know that Holt's probably fallen asleep or
He was the other guy.
partway through. Holt was the other guy.
He was the other guy, so I'm assuming
What other guy?
He wasn't the guard
I
time.
was the captain.
He was the other guy. You were the captain, yes. It was based on Captain Flashheart.
Oh, Flashheart.
He doesn't know that. Okay.
Who's Captain Flashheart?
Well, maybe you should Google him too much. Not now, but Google him, and then you will love him, and he will make you closer to that character for when we revisit.
Are we talking Flashheart or Flashman?
Flashheart. Wolf.
Yeah, Wolf. Oh, right. I thought you meant because you ever read the Flashman books?
No.
Oh, you don't read. I forgot that. Yeah.
Can't read.
You can't read here. The Flashman
you
books
read it?
is great because Flashman's an absolute abject coward, but he always survives. But he's in all these historical things, like he's at the fall of Kabul when he has to trek out from Afghanistan as the British forces are being harried by the Afghan forces, and he manages to get out of it. But he's an abject coward, an absolute cad. But in certain times, he's forced to be a hero when he doesn't want to be a hero.
He just thinks to survive.
Yeah.
And that actually makes him out to be a hero.
That's right.
That's not what he meant to do.
No, I was running away. And his
Yeah.
his sidekick is a guy called Speedy Cut. And Speedy Cut's like, come on then, Flashy, let's give them some of our British spunk. Okay. And he's like, run away. And Speedy Cut's go, oh, come on, Flashy, where are you? So he always gets bailed out by Speedy Cut.
Speedy Cuts obviously has an indomitable person.
Oh yeah, no,
he
he's
doesn't look down upon.
no, he just thinks that Flashy's just misunderstood, but his Flashman is just a total coward.
What was his books?
Oh, they're probably
30 years old.
no more than that.
Is it called Flashman and Speedy Cut or something?
Well, it's Flashman in the fall of this. It's a whole series
Oh,
of, and he's basically it's set in that sort of early 19th century books. George McDougall, can't remember who wrote them now. Classic books. If anyone's watching and they want to have just something that probably isn't on anyone's radar.
12-book collection. They're known as the Flashman Papers.
Yeah, there you go, Flashman Papers.
Well, and there is now the Flashman Society.
And look at if we're ever going to join a society, the Flashman Society's got to be because it's just like
Flashman and the Redskins, Flash for Freedom, the Flashman Papers, Royal Flash.
yeah. And
Okay.
And he's a
Flashman Papers, a series of novels and short stories written by George MacDonald
That's it,
Fraser,
George
the
MacDonald
first
Fraser.
of which was published in 1969.
Yeah, I thought it was about 40, 50
The
years
book
old.
centre on the exploits of the fictional protagonist Harry Flashman.
Yeah. And he's a complete coward and a cad and a bounder, and he keeps on getting put down as a hero because he survives all the Battle of Sevastopol and Flashman. Oh, and he gets honoured and all that. And he's not. He's a terrible person, and he just gets caught and he does all the wrong things, but comes out of it. And it's a great way of seeing, if you don't know anything about that period of the British Empire, it's a great way of getting an easy historical context about, because it's like an alternative. It's not an alternative history, but it's a character that's in those histories.
It's a comedy version of Sharp, by the sounds of it.
So you get to know about the whole expansion on the northwestern frontier that you perhaps no one would know. The fact that the British Empire was in Afghanistan, and the reason why we have Gurkhas is we went, well, these Nepalese guys are hard as nails. I'll tell you what, let's stop fighting these buggers and let's pay them. Let's have them on our side. And so we went, we'll have you. And so we because we're getting our asses handed to us by the Nepalese, we're like, they're really good. can we just buy you instead? And like, oh, we can be bought. Great, we've got these little guys, right? Brilliant. And so it puts you in the context. Where did they come from? So it's a fictional character in historical context, and but he's just a terrible person. He's a really terrible person. But Speedy Cut is his offsider who's like, come on, Flashy, let's give it a bit of, and he's...
As Holt says, a new read, awesome.
It is, no, please, if anyone's watching this and has never heard of him before, read the Flashman books. Just hilarious. It's just
not a paid-for advert either.
No, but if anyone wants to... well, no, he's dead. I think George MacDonald Fraser's dead now. Wrong. But I remember reading those as a kid. And as I tell you, I'm 150 years old, so,
Yep. 10 years ago.
Yeah, I thought
at the age
it
of 82.
Yeah.
He actually looks like a British officer. He was. Yeah. In fact, he's a soldier. Right.
There you go.
I've just the actual George MacDonald Fraser. He's out there.
So, where you've got the Sven Hassel books are supposed to take you to punishment.
Amazing Sven Hassel.
So he's people debunked it and said, Sven Hassel, he claimed he was part of a punishment battalion. Maybe this is not true, but it at least brings you to the idea that there was punishment battalions in the German army who were basically these guys. If you didn't get shot and executed by that side of the really hardcore Nazis, they put you in punishment battalions and threw you at the front of you're in the Russian campaign. Well, they're all probably going to die. Bring in the punishment battalion in that case. So you get that historical context that you never heard of. But Flashy's just he's just a terrible person. But you can just see, he's a survivor. He's a born survivor. And there's the Flashman Society where they just people dress up and they just reenact it. And as I say, Speedy Cut's the best. If it ever kicks off, you want Speedy Cut beside you because he'd be there in the front going, come on then, let's do this.
The synopsis. The first instalment of the Flashman paper sees the fag-roasting rotter from Tom Brown's school days commence his military career as a reluctant secret agent in Afghanistan. Expelled from rugby for drunkenness and none too welcome at home after seducing his father's mistress, the young Flashman embarks on a military career with Lord Cardigan's Hussars. En route to Afghanistan, our hero hones his skills as a soldier, duelist, imposter, coward and amorist, mastering all 97 ways of Hindu lovemaking during a brief sojourn in Calcutta, before being pressed into reluctant service as a secret agent. His Afghan adventures culminate in a starring role in that great historic disaster, The Retreat from Kabul.
Yeah, it's hilarious, and he's just a terrible person. He's just a terrible person, but good read. It's just and if I might suggest we do some of that if people want to know about books that you've never heard of before, and you're going, I've never heard of that before, and you go have you never read the Flashman series? Really? And you'd never. In today's modern society, the whole Netflix sort of culture, people don't read pick-up books. But if you can just throw back and say they're timeless, they don't age badly. It's not like, no, that doesn't read very well. It's not like Enid Blyton, The Famous Five, which is like, it's a bit sort of jolly chaps, that's this stuff doesn't date like that. It's just good, honest fun, and you can actually identify with people going, I think if I was at the Retreat from Kabul, I'd probably be him as well, and you want to die a hero's death? No, I want to be the coward who got out and told you about the hero's death, where he was horribly and brutally killed. It's and
but he was a hero.
Oh yeah, and so but Flashman, and it's all the way through. Yeah, he's a terrible, terrible person. There's other series of stuff that I've read that you randomly read stuff and you think that's awful, and then other stuff you just go you stumble upon it. Well,
the thing is, things that we consider to be massive mainstream as well, they're not. If we talk about the Necroscope, we think that must be out there. Everyone knows about the Necroscope. They don't. These are still books that we need. So we have to do it over coffee.
Over coffee,
books, and talk about it and sell it and tell people.
Yeah, no, and we'll send you the we'll send you the links as to where you can get them on Amazon.
Yeah, we'll be like that. And there's our link here. Press this link there.
Press this link. But after certainly us two being avid readers for the last many decades. No, well, not this non-reader.
You can just sit there and go, and a bucket in the hand is a fish in the lap.
Discuss. We'll force you to read some of these books. Wow, look of disdain.
See what I mean?
Yeah, no.
He's actually full of this sort of... he's actually I'm the explosive guy. He's the calm guy that goes off and murders people.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying.
He actually does the murdering.
It's the dark, when they said when you do role playing, get an insight of part of the
no, can't be that calm.
And it's like he's just the last time I saw something like this was in the Iceman interviews.
He's pretending to be him.
Yeah, it's just like
he's the real him.
And it's just like, oh yeah. And also when I'm talking about books, I just get I can hear this thing in the back of my head. Got ourselves a reader here, oh, so you read, do you? Like, oh, right, okay. And it's just like disconcerting.
All right, what?
Got ourselves a reader, that one before.
No, he said, all right, what? He said something.
I said many things.
Oh, okay.
When he went, all right,
Something.
it's the word afterwards that he doesn't get.
All right. I didn't say anything after that. I just went, all right then.
You thought you said something.
Just said, all right then.
All right then.
Oh.
Did you think he called you a honky?
Yeah.
Right, okay.
All right then. You called me a what?
You know, I'm just looking at him going, all right, honky.
Did you call my pint a puff? What?
Get him! And there you go.
And there you go. That's exactly right. It's like, do you see a lot of fights, do you? There's a lot of angry people around me, always getting called my pint a puff, trying to steal my girlfriend. What?
Yeah, that last one in the church.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, Talbot, do you want a drink? I'm a honky. Oh yeah. What?
Imagine this in a Christian church, his head just going, you what, mate?
Yeah. What? How dare you? I'm not a honky. What are you talking about?
Come on.
Oh.
No.
Priest. No, that's not. It's a cat.
What?
Priest. No, it's a
Priest.
cat. Hello.
The priest said, just
Just had a spitting image moment there.
turn to the left and give your fellow congregation member the sign of peace. Oh, peace be with you. I'm a what? I'm a honky. What? Ah!
That's a sketch.
What? That'll be the
And
news.
here, it's close to midnight, and as you can see, the young badger's face. Call me a honky!
I now dub thee Sir Homer what?
Yes, it is a step away from the conversation. It's selling Talbot's new story arc.
It's his
His
new
comedy sketch with the Cortex does comedy.
Cortex does comedy.
Call me a honky!
That'll be his new thing. That's your catchphrase. You
But
call me a honky.
I want to see him travelling down a corridor, real long corridor, with obvious wires, right? With a sort of like that karate sort of like,
Like,
and the camera comes outside the building. You see him,
and just
the guy to the end.
and in the style of the old camp Batman things where it was kapow, splash, and just say honky.
We can meme this.
Honky?
What?
Does he call me a honky?
Call me a honky? He didn't call you a honky.
actually.
What's it sound like?
Yeah, he didn't.
I didn't.
But now you know, because of the way that the world is, you now have to apologise
For something that he heard that apparently I was
because
projecting.
Now everyone there is offended.
Yeah, because I was
For him.
clearly I was projecting that. Or were you just hearing that? Hey, good day today, Talbot.
Well, how do you think I was thinking honky?
'Cause while I was talking to him, my mind was racing through all the 100 different words that could potentially be considered an insult.
You were getting upset about?
I was, you know,
But why would I get upset about that word?
I don't know. Why are you upset about that word?
why were you upset by that word?
Why do you think about that word when I
Right,
said
we don't know.
I'm not upset by it.
in the context of
I just thought he
alrighty,
said that.
alrighty becomes I'm a honky. So that's, you know, those things. Now this is relationship advice. Sometimes, you know, because the map is not the world.
This is getting
Sometimes when people, when you're in a relationship and you'll say something that nails something irritating, you should take a step back and say, why am I projecting
My insecurity?
my
Anger?
insecurity? Yeah, what is it? Why is that what they've just said upset them when they
I
don't
wasn't
see
even
that?
going to say the word. He said it.
But you were thinking it.
Yeah, because I thought you said it.
Why would
And
I be
said,
saying
what
that?
did you say?
Why would I have said
It doesn't
that?
even have any it doesn't have any reason to be in there.
It's not really the vernacular that anyone in this part of the world would ever use. Really, that I can't actually tell you. Other than this conversation, I've never heard in this part of the world anyone call anyone a honky, other than watching a Netflix still.
It's like the 1970s and so.
It's like something from the Bronx. It's like, why would I be like, you know? I can't even. If I was to shout that at someone,
Moonshine.
even if I was to go and find someone and call them out, they'd be like,
What?
what's one of
Is
those?
that what you'd call a white guy?
It's because like, yeah, that makes no
It's
sense.
not like it's Blazing Saddles. Morning, Mom.
No, it's not that.
Turns
Up
on
yours,
you
Sheriff.
anymore.
Of your sheriff. It's not that. So
Have
yeah,
you seen that?
Blazing Saddles?
Yeah.
You see the bit where he's going,
Morning.
Morning, Mom. She's like, up yours, Sheriff. I never saw that coming. First time I saw it, I literally I was drinking something. Up yours, Sheriff. Look! What?
this is going to be good. This film. Candygram for Mongo.
Which, that's why it's topical.
It is.
Because we were shouting that as we were running through a ravine. Shooting Mexicans?
Shouting Candygram for Mongo. Mongo me no like. Anyways,
Just like around the corner and found him well far up front, shooting everybody, getting shot at, and we're going, don't go up front, I'm not. And we come around the corner, and he's half a valley.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not in front.
Shooting everybody up front, I'm shooting them all on the top level. I'm sure that I saw the little red crosses coming off my target.
yeah, no, we were all shooting as you were going, we're like,
It's not true.
It is
It
true.
is true.
That's how it works.
That's how,
Isn't-
yeah, it
I was
was.
shooting them all.
You shot them all.
Yeah.
we were just happened to be behind, firing as well.
No, I was shooting them all.
Right. You seem very certain of that.
I am
Like
saying it.
aggressive.
Yeah, like, oh, that was me. I shot them all.
I'm not aggressive.
You're
I'm
gonna
just
go.
saying-
You're gonna go and hit halt when you see him.
Why would I hit halt?
Just because.
He's not. He's not there.
Yeah, because.
He's not here. I mean,
He's not there.
He's not there. He's not there.
he's not all there.
He's not. No. No one could actually.
I'm gonna give him an upside down character.
No one could get offended by that because he's not. He's not.
Upside down face.
So, what do we think about tonight's episode? Going all
Well, I don't know.
Terry Priscall.
Terry
Terry Priscall.
Terry Priscall. Well, I like
Terry
Gasp.
Pratchett?
I think Gasper the Wonder Dog should be in more of these things. It's just as any. It's just as like as a side thing. Where's he off to?
Are you leaving?
Oh, you got what?
Where's it gone?
It's Talbot does
Hi,
DIY.
Cat.
Oh, he's just broke his pencil.
Hello, kitty.
He's found another cat.
Ooh, what's it?
Has he found the
I
poo?
don't actually have to keep on telling people because he's still got his mic on.
I know.
I don't know what he's doing.
What are you doing
Many
down there?
cats here.
What?
What?
What are you doing down there?
I'm looking for something.
You're not going to find it there. Stop looking there.
What are you looking for? The cat's balls?
Yeah, it's going to see. You're not going to
For a
find that.
start, that's a female.
Yeah, if you
Think
find it,
this is
that's.
Oh wait, that's shit. No,
What?
it's not. Thank God, it's not.
Well, you're tasting it like. Oh, that's shit. Oh no, no, it's not. No, actually, it's vomit. It's a
I
hairball.
was like, what's that?
What is it?
I don't know.
Well, how do
It's
you know?
nothing. It was just a bit of fluff. I thought it was a bit of.
I'm confused. I've got to try and work out what's going on, and more importantly, I've got to try and work out how to get back to
It's
reality.
got to be a bit missing.
Because you broke it.
Where's the? How does the pencil look?
How does a pencil look?
The rubber goes in the end.
Mm.
Puts pressure on it.
Does it?
Why did you do that?
I don't know what happened.
Violet man.
So yeah, right.
Is that part where he's
so yeah, the spirit creatures, they manifest. They come through with the frost.
Yeah,
it is a.
It's a side effect.
That was like, bugger. They followed you back. Unfortunately, you were in a situation that you weren't really be able to
Defend myself against.
defend yourself.
Yeah.
Whereas in the past you could have dispelled them quite easily. However, thing to that you will, it'll be in your mind because your Ulmakor is able to section off these thoughts and reprocess them as they come, the way that his logical mind works, and he will have set aside for processing later, which is he shouldn't have been able to impact on them.
Because they're actually spirit creatures.
Yeah, and not only did he strike them with an axe, but he was actually throttled them.
Yes.
He was making physical contact with them, and that is something that you're definitely going to. But bigger things to worry about right now.
Well, we were in another dimension. We're in the
Yeah.
we're in the upside down place.
Yeah, upside down world, which was terrible.
So look around. Is there a large, like, sort of predatory stick insect or a large praying mantis looking at me? I'm turning over now. Click.
Yeah, and it was in the middle of the fight, and that's the main thing. Is you were in the middle of your fight. It was only a matter of time before defeat. It was it was just.
It's gonna happen.
Even though you impacted them, you were doing
too
something
many.
that mortals can't. You couldn't possibly fight the realm of what this was. And basically, what it is, from your point of view, you're well aware, was literally as you burnt the early warning system. He was the sacrifice, and that's the coil. When that body finally is broken up, which that's not going to be happened. It's been it's been scorched obviously by magical flame, but it's still intact, and therefore they're connected. The only thing to stop these creatures attacking is when they're successful, or you kill the person that put the ward on there. And obviously, there's no way at this point in time for you to ever find out fast enough.
Unless I go through every single seventh eye in the entire.
Instantly.
Yeah. Got him. Oh, now the seventh eye. Wait a minute.
Okay.
Didn't think that one through.
Yeah. And now you're in this place, so
I'm trying to work out whether
you've
this
got to
is.
find out where you are.
And is this as a result of as part of the counter spell, or is this something entirely different and just happened to be at the same time? This happened. So I'm gonna more time for Ulmakor to stare pensively at camera number 3 going, which if you're watching Netflix, this is pure acting.
Where do you think you are? I know it felt like short, but like I said, it was simply because of where you all take.
I have no idea.
Are you now thoroughly confused? Or are you still enjoying yourself?
No, I am, but I don't know where I am.
You're in a happy
Alex
place.
doesn't know where he is. I'm assuming. Well, I asked. My first thought was, did Ulmakor do it? Ulmakor said.
Always blaming. Always blaming. Always.
I've got to blame you.
Blaming.
You can't blame me now.
Yeah. It's your doing. And he said it wasn't his doing. So, what can you think?
Were you going to do something just before I finished?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So you're going to have you made a note of what you're thinking?
It wasn't anything that
know?
grand or anything that's going to make any much of a difference.
Well, how do you know? You haven't done it yet. You'll have to write it down.
Preview next week's episode.
Yeah.
Oh, you want to know what it was?
Yeah. I think it won't.
I was going to see if I could pick up like a fruit or something and open it up.
No fruit lying on the ground on the bridge. So
Dismissed.
No, like if I went past, like, the market.
you will look out for some fruit.
Yeah,
And you want to pick it up.
yeah.
Does it specifically have to be fruit?
Well, something like, something that I can try and eat.
So you want to find something that you can eat?
Yeah, to see if it if it rots or if it's...
Yeah.
So we're in the upside down world and he's scurrying around looking for macas. What are you doing?
I'm really hungry right now.
Go down the wharf and look for Fred de Blair.
Find Dibbler.
Yeah.
Get a rat on a stick. Rat on a stick? Cut me on throat,
Yeah, does it find his cuisine? Good. All right, I know what you're doing now. Like I say, the fire isn't. It's not frozen. It's not frozen. Would be the wrong word. It's just stopped.
It's always good check for heat. Does it give off heat?
Well, you'll be able to check that because they've got
will it still burn?
So right, okay. Well, you do walk up and you can feel heat coming from it. Yeah.
So it would burn.
It would burn you if you put your hand on it or in it.
Right. Okay.
It would cause too much pain before. If you want to be, I assume that you went with a bit of caution.
Yeah.
You went to sort of go. Whoop!
Yeah.
Holy shit!
What if I put my hand inside this forge?
So, as you do that, you can feel the heat at the level that you'd expect at the range you're at.
Yeah.
So you get up to the point where it becomes painful, and you're like, no, it's still a fire.
You didn't drive your hand into the middle of a blacksmith's forge just
So I'm
to see
assuming the same will be with the fruit. So if I open a fruit, it'll still be
Yeah.
a fruit. It's just the fact that everything's in pause.
time stopped.
Yeah.
And the stars are doing the... I feel like...
Which
I'm
I'm not even looking up.
don't look up! Don't look up!
I'm not looking
As
up.
soon as he went, oh! You're like,
No.
I'm not looking.
he goes, no. What? And his head goes, no.
No.
Stare at my feet.
He's like, no, and looks into the river.
I can still see it. No, it's back to front.
It's going up. Oh,
I don't even know what I'm looking at.
no. Stars.
Nothing. Just walk around
You're
like that.
just looking into the pin cushion in the blanket that surrounds the world that the gods look down through.
It's like that toy that you play kids.
What?
It's like that toilet
It's
you
like
play.
the windy up toys that you play kids so they go to sleep. But this is obviously the same thing, but without music. But the stars go like a music box thing. Yeah, I used to have one.
Yeah, but the sound that you came out with was like the psycho tune.
It was like,
God. That's horrifying.
and now, children, time to go to bed.
Don't be silly, there's nothing wrong with the killer clown toy.
Why are the kids still
come
in the
on,
bed? They're 15. What's going on?
Kids.
Well, stop telling that bedtime story about the monster that lives at the bottom of your bed and eat you as soon as
toys
I'm
are
gone.
eerie anyway.
You think?
Yeah, come on. Especially when they go off at night randomly.
Yeah, that's a bit
No,
worse. Well, yeah,
There's
yeah,
nothing. There's nothing more frightening.
that's always worried. Well, no, there is that bit where the mist comes at your bedroom. You can hear a little. Come out, and play.
Yeah.
Shut up, go away. You
Can I
click.
have the lottery numbers?
Or as a
That's
well-known
shout.
comedian once said, what? It's not the monster in your bed you've got to worry about, it's the burglars that come in at night through the window.
Night, children.
That
Don't
was
wet,
the Boddingtons advert,
don't-
or
don't-
Smiths.
don't wet your beds again.
Twice in a night anyway.
Big boy go beep beep.
So yeah, so what do you want to do? Do you want to, I think we should try another Friday night.
Yes.
Once we get over the fact that it is late.
Hey, but guess what? No work tomorrow.
Hey,
Yeah, it's
Ka-ching.
all time.
Ka-ching.
I've got to go to work.
Hey, but I've got to not drink all those energy drinks next week because I won't be going to bed.
Well,
till
yeah, you could go until 4.
I'm going to be lying in bed like, right, I'm awake.
How many do you have?
Too many.
Oh my god.
I was tired, but no, I'm not.
You won't be. For
No,
all-
no, I'm
we
gonna.
need more of that.
Well, I'll be doing it.
Amazon's all out.
I'll be going at that front room and just with the lights really low and just the music. I'll just be ravey wavy Davy. just for hours at a time. Kids go, "What are you doing, Dad?" Nothing.
Go back to sleep.
How many shelves?
You actually got a good rhythm going there.
Oh no, I've got plenty of room. Yeah.
I got some rhythm.
Yeah. Ooh,
You got me hungry. Well, everybody.
I called him honky.
Thanks very much for watching. Doc, thanks very much for being on as our moderator. Holt, thanks very much.
Keeping Holt in check.
Yeah, well, we know check. We know check.
We know check.
We know that Holt was in and about listening to this in the background, no doubt, and playing Red Dead Redemption Online.
Yeah.
Have you got your $200 that you can give over to... not that you can. I don't think you can transfer money.
No.
But, yeah, we'll be playing Red Dead Redemption on Tuesday
Nice
and Thursday, and then we'll be doing another episode 11 of... 12 of Rise of an Empire. Next Friday at our new time... Well, new day, Friday, and new time, 9:30 p.m. GMT. Please come along. During the week, we shall be talking about giveaways.
Dun, dun, dun. Really? We never talked about this. Oh, we are.
Yep. We're talking about it now.
I know. Yeah, apparently.
So tune in every week. Yeah, so the giveaways are going to be for our followers, so make sure you are a follower. Tell your friends, get them on board. We've got some giveaways coming. Just nice little things as a thank you very much for being our followers, our streamers, helping us as we come into Christmas. We'll have some details released, or what's the term? Not secreted.
I don't know. I'm just finding out about these giveaways.
What's the option? What's the term where you let something out? What's the word?
Revealed?
No, reveals like you're doing it on purpose. You know. When it's like,
what's he talking about?
Let's slip.
Let's slip.
What do spies do? Heat-seeking biscuits.
What? Spies? What do spies do?
That's what he said. Heat-seeking biscuits. No, like when the...
We're not revealing it.
Reveal... No, it's not sneak peek, damn you. He actually said it as I said it.
Sneak peek?
No, it's not a sneak peek.
I don't even know what a sneak
peek
is.
So we're revealing over the coming days, during the week, ready for our next RP session, our giveaways, but it's reveals.
We're going to do teasers.
Teasers! Whatever.
Anyway. Time to get those tassels for you. Woo!
Rhino! You know it.
He's thinking about it, yeah.
He's getting into it now.
Rhino.
What we're going to hear is giggity giggity.
No one knows Rhino.
Yep.
That's the thing.
And
It's wasted on these people.
Acid waxed chest and
Hold nose
nipple
Rhino.
tassels.
Hold nose Rhino.
Giggity.
Giggity. So yeah.
Yeah.
Get everybody in here. Followers only, obviously.
Followers only.
So
Yeah.
follow.
Yeah.
And, don't be shy. Yeah. Shows your pie.
Let's be blunt.
Woo! You just hit that certain time, don't you? And you just think, what? And there's
Anything goes.
There's just no holding back.
Yeah.
Apparently.
And ignore
Why would you say that?
Oh, wait, what's
I
this?
didn't say that. You thought what the next line was. Don't be shy, shows your pie. Well, let's be blunt.
And show you 77 Studios, The Exorcist again. I'm really going to update those pictures. 77 Studios for all your artistic needs.
That is awesome.
You need any work for a website. You need artwork for your role play characters. You just want a concept for your comic.
Oh my God.
Please contact our very close friend and 77 Studios, Devil Monkey, at email devilmonkey77@gmail.com, Twitter, devilmonkey77, Facebook, 77 Studios, Instagram, devilmonkey77. That's an example of his work. It is much varied and fantastic. And please give him a shout out. Have a think. If you need something, just get in touch. Doesn't cost you anything.
He's very good.
He is very good.
He's very good.
And other than that, stay tuned for, not now, but
For further
for
hijinks.
Tuesdays and Thursdays for our Friday reveal of some just small giveaways, nothing big. Don't come on, you
Don't
think
get
we're
too
giving away
excited.
cars. I want you to get excited.
Don't get nothing big. Don't get too excited.
Don't get don't get overawed
let's
by
not
giving
get-
away Mercedes.
Let's not get carried away here. What we're going about.
That's the word I was going. Let's not get carried away.
And here, a Fabergé egg. Oh my God, we're giving
There's
them
a
away.
picture of me pretending to be Glorfindel. Not Glorfindel. Grombrindal.
Glorfindel.
Do you know who Glorfindel is?
Oh, come
Right,
on.
that's
Oh,
it.
dear me,
I
God.
just said something
Do you don't know who Glorfindel is? Revealed in all his might.
Who's Glorfindel?
Oh, God.
Right.
Talking in tongues now. And I don't
In
know
the
what
end
he's
credits,
talking
by the way, you will notice that it still states, sorry,
What?
that we're live on Sunday. We're not.
No.
Friday night is when we will be on for roleplay at Cortex at 9:30. So
What?
again, tune in Tuesday and Thursday for details of our giveaways. Please hit follow, like, subscribe, and all kinds of the good stuff to help
All that
support us.
gizmo.
And at the end of this, we will beat the IT technician who has failed to update all these various things.
Where-
Cortex cat starfish.
What?
Cortex starfish.
Cortex starfish. The special brown starfish.
What are you talking
So again, ignore the fact that the end credits are now going to state Sunday. It will be updated for Tuesday to show that roleplay is now Friday. Please check out our YouTube for our previous episodes. And again, giveaways coming out next Friday. So
Hey, don't
tune in Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Don't forget to hit subscribe
to
for YouTube as well. You get to know when all the new good stuff goes up. It's the easiest way to find out.
What was that?
I don't
I
know.
don't know what that was.
That was a bit weird.
But hit a follow. See us on Tuesday. See us on Thursday so that you're in for the giveaway on Friday. Thanks very much, everybody.
Take care.
See you Tuesday.
Bye.